What's happening? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live Snowstorm episode. I wonder if you are currently in this snowstorm. Represent in the chat room. Where are you and what's going on? Tell you what, you want to know here. Here's the view. The view out my window. I'll show you what's going on outside my window. Here you go. Hold on. That's what's up. That's what's going on outside the bunker here. Let me close that friggin' window. Fucking guillotine. What's happening? How's everybody doing? Brett in Michigan. Is it dumping in Michigan? Queens? Okay. Ice in Tennessee. What's happening, Mr. Judkins? Nice and quiet in Pennsylvania, Larry? Oh no, where I am. Yo, I'm on a street that's usually really, really busy, and it's dead quiet. Nothing's coming down my street. Boston, it's snowing. Mark Borg, what's up? Good seeing you last night. Connecticut, Gajewski, and there's a lot of snow in Connecticut. Brian Matson, what's happening? Rockland, yeah. I'm sure it's dumping in Rockland. Over a foot in Orange County. Fuck yeah, bonus episode. This one goes out to all our friends in Europe that are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You know? That's cool. That said, a lot of guests coming through today. And I'm gonna give you a clue of one of the guests coming on. You'll get a kick out of this. All right? This guy is coming, a fan favorite, coming on the show today. All right? There you go. One of our guests, if you can figure out who that is, he will be on the show today. Speaking, let's bring a couple of the usual suspects on. Let's start with Lori Dawn. Where are you?
Hello. From snowy Cape Cod.
From snowy Cape Cod.
Yeah, it's crazy here. We have about 5 inches and counting.
Hi, Cindy. Good to see you last night. I'm sorry we struggled so bad. But Hilly's son. Good one. That was funny. Hilly's son. Right. Does it not snow in Europe? Speaking of snowing in Europe, huh?
It does. It snows in Europe.
Speaking of snowing in Europe, let's bring on our sometime co-host, Joe Augustin. What's up?
Nice.
Hey, how's it going?
And where are you reporting in from?
I'm reporting in from the Live Free or Die state of New Hampshire.
There you go.
What's going on up there?
About 5-6 inches like you, but we're going to get at least 2 feet by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Which, it's winter in New England. It's going to be what it's going to be. So
Yeah, we're on the edge of it. So I'm expecting this to switch over to wet snow and then freezing snow and then all the nasty stuff and then just rain. So,
well, I mean, the bigger issue is just the sub-zero temperatures. Like last night, I got to give a shout out to Dave Tree because I was so hoping to see Tree. They were playing up here last night.
Right.
And I had to squeeze everything into yesterday that I was going to do today. Plus, with the weather temperature wise. I'm like, Dave, I'm sorry, brother, but those guys play 10,000 shows a year, so I'm going to see them.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
Wait, speaking of which, we're playing with Tree in like
a week, right?
In like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
See,
our next show is with Tree.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That said, let's bring Stephen Messina on while we're at it.
Hello.
Where's Danny? It's
Tree.
It's sunny.
Yo, Tree is probably playing right now.
Right.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Nice and warm. That's about it, Stephen.
For the moment.
Because we're indoors.
Justin Flem. Hey guys, I've been busy making a 20-year anniversary Dynamo New York Hardcore demo tribute to Carl Mascher. Rest in peace, taking a break from shoveling.
Wow.
Yeah, I did my first round with the snowblower before.
Yeah, that's the trick to all of it. Well, our snowblower broke, of course. So that's the trick to all of it. You get out there like every hour on the hour. Shovel.
I was going to wait and do it at once, and then I talked to Lori and kind of said, let me take a swing at this.
Yeah, that's the trick.
Steven, you sent me this band I've never heard of.
Yes, I couldn't resist.
I have no idea. I'm like, who? No one's going to know who this is.
It's okay. It's topical.
Yeah, I think the bass drum, if anybody can recognize from the bass drum who this band is.
Yes.
It's not the Icemen. That's a good guess. It's not the Icemen. Anybody know who this is?
This was a big Coachella band. One of the Glastonbury bands last year, as a matter of fact. Bigger than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, anybody know who this is? Joe Frank does. Joe Frank got it. It's not Prong. Does that look like Prong's logo, bro? Does that look like Prong's logo? What is a Coachella band? What is that? What is Larry Kelly asks, and it's not Incubus either.
No. This is a band. These pictures were taken in 2007, and this was actually a double bill with a band called Panic at the Disco. And these bands, these are big in sort of, what would you call this, Lori? Like an alternative pop, sort of.
Yeah.
Man, these dudes look soft. These dudes look soft.
No, it's a good band.
I was playing off a bad joke on this one today, though.
Yeah.
Which and they weren't bad, actually. I have to say, this is the second time I shot them. This is a band called Snow Patrol.
They're horrible. I'd rather listen to Nickelback.
The funny thing is, the guys in Snow Patrol were just saying how much they liked Larry Kelly too.
Yeah. They're big fans.
Yes.
You know what? Let them. These dudes look soft.
Well, clearly Larry has never heard Snow Patrol's big hit, Kill Slug or God.
Yep. 2 doors down. Yeah. I told you these guys were going to get ripped apart on the show today.
Listen, that's all right. It's all good.
I'd rather listen to a dying dog.
Actually, hey, Lenny.
Hey, welcome to the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, where we bring a band up and we just fucking rip them apart.
Listen, I don't love every
Fuck
band.
those guys. They're soft.
Lenny, you miss New York yet? You should come back up for this.
Yeah.
You want to know what I got to say about Snow Patrol? Here, you want to know the real Snow Patrol? Here's the real Snow Patrol right here. Coming on the show later. That's the real Snow Patrol.
That's what we will have to do
Yeah.
the reach.
Yeah. Yeah. What else?
Have any of you guys ever been to Coachella?
Ray Hogan went a bunch of times.
I went to one 2005, so it's been a long time. I had fun.
Vicky's still like, who is it? They're called Snow Patrol. There's
Everybody just
some soft ass emo band that Larry Kelly loves called
yeah,
Snow Patrol.
Larry's favorite.
Yeah.
Listen, the name fit.
That's all we were going for.
Yeah, that's what we were going for.
No, you're not getting off the hook, Steven.
Hey, bring it.
We're always talking about listening to other music on the show.
Right.
Different music, appreciating
What other
types of sound.
What other music do you listen to that sucks? All right.
Since you've asked, we can go off for hours.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's bring Scott on.
Yes.
We have a welcome to the Brady Bunch. Lots of guests coming on today, but we're going to let's welcome a new friend to the show. He runs DCPC Live, a Hudson Valley-based record label that releases live hardcore punk, ska, and metal albums on 12-inch and 7-inch vinyl. In just 5 years, he's released over 50 records. He's booked and promoted over 35 shows across the region, from Troy to Poughkeepsie, with Kingston and New Paltz in between. He also manages or tour books along with his podcast, Scene Support. Please welcome, coming at us from upstate New York, Mr. Scott Pash. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Don't get too excited. We're going to...
You're going to rip me a new one. I know. I'm ready for
it. Yeah. Hey, see, look, Scott got a fan base. Joe Frank.
Oh, that's just Joe. He likes everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Doesn't count.
Oh, I got another one. Yeah.
Hey, Kastabi, what's up, Paul? You had me at Hudson Valley. Wow, who knew?
Right? Hudson Valley is where it's at.
Shit.
I mean, I grew up in D.C., and I thought D.C., the DMV, Maryland, Baltimore, Richmond area was great, but I got to tell you, I love the Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
Fucking where it's at.
That's awesome.
Tell us about what you're doing, about DCPC, how it got started, and what you're up to, and why you have such a passion for putting yourself through the incredible amount of abuse and headache and heartache and bullshit that goes along with putting records out and promoting bands.
Yeah, so I taught middle school for years, and it's actually fucking harder to handle a bunch of fucking bands than it is to handle middle school students. But DCPC, it started in Florida. I'd moved there from DC. My bass player in my band was from Port Charlotte. We started booking shows down there under DCPC, and we did like the Anti-Queens and some other shit. Pandemic happened. Switched to doing live streams. Decided to record it, put it out the 7-inch, of course, of our own band, Calling Dead First, because that's how every fucking label starts. You put out your own fucking band's record. And I was like, you know what? Let's make the covers look like the old VML records of the 90s. I love those fucking records. Keeps it simple. And I'm just going to do live recordings. And I was like, maybe they'll do a couple. It was like 4 the first year. I re-released some 2-Man Advantage stuff and some Goon stuff. I hit up old friends first. I'm like, let me just put some stuff out that'll be great. And then like it just kept growing and growing. And I have like a great backline of people like Josh from Danger Room in Florida, mixes and masters, or Des up here in Savannah, that help me with like recording bands. I can record 4 bands for $200. I tell the bands it's free. If you don't like it, I delete it. If you like it and I like it, we talk about putting it out.
Does the stuff get mixed?
Oh, yeah. Josh mixes and masters it. And I've gotten to the point now where like Maximum Rock and Roll and Razor Cake no longer say it sounds good for a live record. They say it just sounds fucking good. Like I'm constantly fighting that uphill battle that live records sound like shit. So, and they don't. Not if they're done well. They don't have to.
I'd be scared to do a live record.
Everybody is, but that's why it's free. If I record it and it's free and you don't like it, what's the danger to you?
If it's free, it's for me.
It's for you, right? Like it's like I try and make it a total like community-based situation. I'm not out to make money. I just want to put out the next fucking record. And sometimes it's small regional bands, and other times I've done stuff like the Middle-Aged Queers and Raging Nathans, or I just I did Inquisition, the guys that went on to be in Strike Anywhere and Amberetta. I did their live reunion show in 2008. I put it on vinyl because it had only been on DVD before. So it's like all over the place. Some shit like Rebelmatic sells out in a month. Oh, this stuff takes a year. It's okay. I just
not-
want to
you know
document
what?
history.
I'm not so scared anymore.
Yeah, and that Rebelmatic one is great.
It
I
is
think-
great.
I think I want to do a live record.
As you fucking should.
Hey, aren't we playing up there in a couple days?
You are, and I would not recommend doing a live record with that venue with you in the middle of the set.
Right. Right.
But we can do it. But you are playing up here, and it's going to be a fucking killer show. We raised $900 for a charity for adoption services 2 weeks ago. So we're raising money again this time for heart support, which is mental health for musicians. And it's got a fucking banger list of bands, even though Joe's band Prize Fighter is opening. Sorry, Joe, I had to get a dig at you.
Yep. That makes sense. Are the crowd yelling on these live performances, or is it edited?
Oh, it's real crowd. We do a crowd mic. We put a mic out into the crowd so that we catch a capture. I don't want to overdub crowd. I'm not going to do that. That happened to my old DC band, The Overprivileged. We played a garage with a band called The Clap once in like Pennsylvania. And then later some kids like, dude, on AOL Instant Messenger, I got your split CD with The Clap. It sounds great. Sounds like 1,000 people are there. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like 10 people in a garage. I didn't even know this shit was out. Contacted the guys like, oh yeah, I did some crowd from like Decades of Aggression, threw it in there. Sounds great. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. We are the Clap.
We are The Clap.
You know, we're the Clap. We're herpes.
But yeah, I love the Hudson Valley scene. I've been up here and it's like a community and a family that I thought I had. I mean, I certainly had it in DC, but maybe I'm older and better to appreciate it now. But certainly better than I had in years of being in Florida.
Hudson Valley's popping off. And I see you got a couple of shows coming up. You got the Toasters. You got some good stuff coming on.
Tiger Piss. They used to be
Tiger Piss.
Yes.
Listen. We formerly known as the Clap and Herpes. We are now known as Tiger Piss.
I mean, I was in a band called the Twats, so what can I say about that?
Right.
I mean, I got nothing to say back. And I've got a big event called the Rally in the Valley coming up in April, celebrating 5 years of DCPC. I haven't released the bands yet, but it's a lot of fucking dope ass bands.
What is this? The Unicorn Bar. What is the Unicorn Bar?
It is the only queer bar in the Hudson Valley.
I was going to say, sounds queer.
It is, but they're proud about that, and that's good for me. I love them. They're a great bunch of people. They love ska, so I do great ska shows there. I can do like punk and hardcore, but they prefer if it's like queercore or something like that. But they're super nice people. Fits 150 people in there. It's all ages. So I did a big D in the kids table show there, and it sold out in like 4 days. So super, super rad, super awesome people. Love it.
Now, Scott, what considerations do you have for recording live? Are there certain venues or that you prefer? And why did you say that it was best not to be in the middle of a set?
Well, part of it is like we recorded last night at the Snug show that I did in New Paltz, and we recorded the bands that wanted to record. They played first and second, just to make sure that they could be there a little earlier, get a proper sound check. Like we double mic everything. So there's the mic for the room and then there's the mic for the recording. They're two totally separate things because we're not trying to change what the room sounds like, but we want to make sure we're capturing the tracks just like you're recording in a studio. Like when I recorded my podcast with Don Zientara, he said he did all that early Discord stuff live.
Yeah.
Just tracked live. They played live. So it's basically the same thing. You're just recording in a studio. It just happens to be a show. And the mistake that most people make is that they try and just get a straight board recording. But how and what can happen is
Spikey asks, does he take a stereo mix or multi-track everything?
Multi-tracks everything. So like every tom is tracked. We got cymbal overheads. He's got the fancy mics that measure the distance. I don't know. I know how to hire good people. I don't do it myself.
Yeah, listen. Delegate responsibility.
I'm an organizer. I'm a vision person, and I find people that I can rely on. Like Dez, when I started doing monthly shows at Snappers, he has done every single show I've done there. And every show I've done in the Hudson Valley, he has done. He puts me on priority of everyone else he works for. So I love him, and I can't appreciate him more if I tried.
I'm a magician, not a wizard, goddammit. Here's another one. What is this? Snug Harbor.
Yeah, so I'm recording Lake Lanier and Pucker Up at this one too. So they're
Pucker Up.
playing Pucker Up.
Buck Up's good.
They are fucking great. I saw them at Camp Pennsylvania last year. I had tried to buy their record online. It sold out. And then I saw them at Camp Pennsylvania, and I'm walking to go buy their record, and some fucker walked by and said, I just bought the last one. I was like, God damn it. I was like, I should have bought it before they played. Why did I wait?
And here's
I think that's where we met. We met at Camp Punk, right?
We did meet at Camp Punk.
Yeah.
It was when I first moved here. It's actually where I met Joe from Prize Fighter, too.
Right.
Yeah, so
We
Camp
just
Punk has
met,
been like
yeah.
a home away from home for me. I love that place.
Yeah. Right on.
benefit for Punk Island. Are you playing Punk Island? Do you have a stage on Punk Island?
I co-share the Lunchbox stage this year with Mike Dietz from RBNX.
Oh,
Nice.
So I volunteered
right on.
last year. Punk Island's got a really, I think, appropriately strict process for you to have your stage. You've got to volunteer for a year. Then you've got to get voted onto the committee with voting rights and volunteer a year again. And then finally, after that, you can get your own stage.
Yep.
So like basically 2 years of volunteering to make sure you don't just come on and say, hey, I just want to fucking get my stage and walk away the next year and do nothing. Like, I don't want you to rip me off. So they want you to really be invested in what Punk Island does.
sure.
That's great.
Yeah, I've been going to Punk Island for years. I played when I was in Antidote. I played with the Drew Stone Hit Squad.
Yeah.
I've gone for the past couple of years.
It's a great experience. I love it.
I tell you what, I was kind of over it for a minute, but now that it's on Randall's Island, which is very close to where I live, it's beautiful. Randall's
It was
Island,
so great last year.
and the year before, I went the last 2 years, and I was like, this is great. Let's do something. So ID's playing Punk Island this year.
I think you are. I'm so what's his face? Phil, the drummer from RBNX.
That's right.
Separated off into display. I also am RBX's tour manager, so I just finished booking. They came back from their last tour. I booked.
Did you go out with them on the road for that whole thing?
No. I am married with 2 kids, getting my PhD, and I did 35 shows last year. I ain't got no time for no tours.
How old are your kids?
17 and 15 as of today.
Oh, right on.
So
Right on.
and so I'm a busy man. I'm booking Shark Noises right now. I manage a band called World Sucks.
World sucks.
Yeah, so we're just shopping their record, and I think I won't say which record label said they're going to do it because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that yet. So yeah, I'm really stoked.
Yeah, don't make the same mistakes that I make, which is posting shit you're not supposed to post. And have
Overstating
the label
things.
go, what are you doing?
Telling people when Punk Island is, even though I think I
Yeah,
might know
right,
when it is,
right.
because no one knows when it is, even though
That's
like
right.
people might know when it is.
Now,
No,
you're doing
I will not make that announcement right now.
you're doing the Punk Island benefit show. If people can't attend the show, is there some place where they can donate?
Absolutely. So there is a link on my DCPC website to donate directly to the Punk Island website. You can
Perfect.
also go to Punk Island itself and donate there as well.
Fantastic.
So, and
Yeah,
I
very
will,
important.
I will be at Camp Pennsylvania again this year. I'm recording the second stage again. So for those of you that don't know, I did a compilation of Camp Pennsylvania's second stage, and I did a comp album that came out last year. I have another one coming out this year, and I'm doing it again. So like hopefully every year until ad nauseum, I'm going to keep recording the secondary stage and releasing live compilations
Right.
that like help you like have a great momentum of what Camp Pennsylvania was for you.
Yeah, and that second stage is great.
Right
So,
on.
Yeah,
don't
it's
keep
always
on
bands that are like
down.
right there. Like they're
Yes.
not quite blown up yet, but they
Yeah.
probably should be.
A lot
Like
of
Hans
fun.
Gruber and the Die Hards or Soji. Like they're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck there.
Well, I know because we're always right across the way from it. So
Yeah, I get the waffle cake hut every year.
yeah, okay.
So
Right.
we're gonna see you a week from today.
A week from today.
We're playing one of your shows,
It is going to be a banger.
Snapper McGee's. It's $5, 21 plus, a benefit for heart support with Brutality, RBNX, Incendiary Device, Faded Line, and Prize Fighter featuring the legend of upstate New York, Joe Frank. Hey, what we're playing the night before in Albany. What are we going to do in Kingston? Well, at least it's an earlier show, right?
Yeah, so like loading is at 3. I feed the bands. I make sure all the bands get taken care of. There's a record store across the street.
Okay.
They carry all the DCPC records, so go buy those. There's
Okay.
a coffee shop nearby. It's
Yeah,
a nice,
okay.
it's a nice fucking town. Come hang out. You know, even though you only
Fair
get
enough.
like one drink ticket at the bar, if you like to drink, you can get the Americans at PBR and a shot for $5. Like they are a dive bar, but we're a kind, wonderful staff, and it's actually $5 to $10 now for donations. But like you can donate more, you can buy advance tickets. I mean, I had last show I did. Somebody bought 4 tickets online for $40 a piece.
Is that right, Scott?
Because that's
Scotty?
the hardcore community, man. That's what
I
we
didn't
do.
know Scott Ian lives in Kingston. I'll text them.
I think so. I think because he does Rock Academy. I think he's done some lessons over there at Rock Academy.
I didn't realize he was in Kingston. I'll invite him to the show.
That'd be fucking rad.
Drew introduced me to Conservative Military Image. Okay.
They're a good band. I saw them in Nashville.
I know they're a controversial band, but I love that band. Hey Joel, how do you separate controversial bands from their music? Like, how do you separate Michael Graves from how do you separate Michael Graves from his music, or Conservative Military Image, or John Lennon for that matter? How does that work?
Well, you open up a big can of worms saying Graves in particular, because we're pals. So we'll skip Graves entirely. Okay. But, you know, look, I think punk rock and hardcore being, in essence, rebellious styles of music, if you look at the last 45 years, inevitably there's going to be something that's problematic to somebody somewhere. So enjoy the music. If it speaks to you, allow it to speak to you, and don't think too much beyond that. You know, we all love Agnostic Front. There may be some things on the Cause for Alarm album people don't like in 2026, you know. So you keep that in mind, and also allow people have a chance to grow as human beings. You know, I talked to Daryl from the Bad Brains many years ago about a certain track on the Quickness album, you know, and he talked about people grow, people expand their perspective. You have to be welcoming of that as well, you know, and give artists a break, because they're artists. They're supposed to question, they're supposed to evolve. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think in general, we have to give people not so much a pass, but at least the room to grow. And if they put out, you know, a 10 album discography where they're clearly not growing, then that's up to you to decide as a listener if you give them their support or not. That's what it comes down to.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't think bands should be afraid to color outside the lines, you know.
Oh no. The whole point of progress in our whole thing depends on people doing that.
Oh,
otherwise it gets stale.
You know, you get that cookie cutter thing where you see 6 bands and they all blur one into the other, you know.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, that said, Scott, thank you for stopping by. You are a new friend of the show.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday up at Snapper McGee's on the big incendiary device, Northwest Sub-Zero. It's freezing out, and we're suffering through it tour.
I appreciate that. And real quick, Fameless Records told me I was silly and I should announce that they're releasing World Sucks record. So my apologies. He's apparently listening. He's like, why aren't you announcing it?
Yeah.
You try and do good, and you get told not to. I'm like, okay, my bad.
At Furland 16, I was listening to a few of the DCPC records this weekend. Always great.
Fuck yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'll reach out and we'll see you in a couple days.
Awesome, can't wait. Thank you for having me on. Nice to meet you all. Lori, always fabulous to see you.
Yes.
Take care.
Too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
What a nice new friend we have.
He's fantastic. Yes. I encourage anybody to follow the DCXPC, and for new music, great music. He's got a really nice thing going on there.
Yeah, he seems to be very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and like a lot of his shows are like benefit shows and everything, which I love. A lot of great causes. So
yeah, right on. Hey, I'm going to put you guys backstage for a second. Read some sponsorship, and I'm going to bring on a couple more guests, and I'll pop you guys back on in a bit. If you guys want to hang out.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you in a bit. I'll see you in a bit. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. You asked for it, you got it. We are sponsored by The Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Women of the Pitch, She Devils Coven, and Minty Fresh Presents. They're a promotion company that put on hardcore metal shows at Locals Bar, Manalapan, New Jersey, where our next guest played last night, along with Incendiary Device. Founded by Chris Gullis, a.k.a. Big Polish of Bulldoze, and Frankie DeAngelis of Silence Equals Death. The shows are all ages with plenty of parking. The kitchen's open till 2 a.m. If you're a band looking to play and you don't totally suck, or if you do suck but draw a fuckload of people, please reach out to them at mintyfreshpresents@gmail.com. Ticket pre-sales for events are available at mintyfreshnewjersey.com. Check them out on Instagram at mintyfreshnewjersey and help spread the word to support DIY hardcore and metal in Central New Jersey. Minty Fresh Presents. That said, here we go. How about let's welcome back a bass player and guitar bass tech hailing from Forest Hills, Queens, where I was born and where the Ramones are from. As a musician, he is best known for his work with the band 25 to Life and currently Nailed to the Cross, a big supporter of the show. Please welcome, coming at us from snowy New York City, Mr. Warren Lee. Brother, how are you? How was the show last night? A big supporter of the show.
Hey, Drew, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
You can't hear me? No go?
Hold on. I can't
Sign
hear
off.
you at all, actually.
Sign off and sign back on. Try that. Here, I'll kick you off. There you go. He's out. Next up, since today's show at the Bowery Electric was postponed due to the snowstorm, let's welcome on the show the guitar player from the headline band Sworn Enemy. He's also traveled the world as a guitar and bass tech, working for some of the heavyweights in the business, including Living Color, Testament, Typo Negative, Dave Navarro, Biohazard, and others. Please welcome, coming at us from Long Island, New York, Mr. Jeff Cummings. Bro.
What's up, Drew?
You can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
How's things in Long Island?
It's not so bad. I mean, they hyped this storm up pretty good. I mean, there's a decent amount on the ground, but you know, I think the visibility is probably the more of the problem right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we had to postpone today's show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. We were all really looking forward to doing this and closing out the Bowery Electric.
I know,
the right way. And we really appreciate you guys always having us, you bringing us on and putting us on all these shows. And it was so cool, you know, doing just a free show, matinee style. You kind of keep in it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's fun.
Know? Yeah.
And you guys have played, Sworn Enemy's been, you guys are a part of our family down there and have played a lot of great shows down there. And it's been great. Hey, listen. The wave goes in and the wave goes out. RS70 asks, will the Bowery Electric show be rescheduled? That's it. Well, it theoretically is being rescheduled, but chances are, since we're moving to the A7, it'll be probably at A7. But that said, I want to say that we're going to end up probably in some form back at the Bowery Electric. It's not going to be called the Bowery Electric anymore, and they're renovating it. But Jesse Malin is doing his sort of off Broadway show there. But that's not going to go on indefinitely. And chances are we'll get back into the space. What's it called now? Bowery. What's it called? Bowery something. Bowery. I forgot what it's called now. Hey, Larry, what's it called now? Bowery Empire? Bowery something. I forgot. But I'm actually excited to be getting back into the A7. You know, that's the Bowery Palace. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Bowery Bagels. No, Bowery Palace. But hey, as we march on, you know, since we have you here, and we're gonna give Warren. We're gonna try to get Warren back on in a minute, and hopefully, hey, Kathleen, and it was a bit of a memorial to our friend who passed, Brian Whittemore. our good friend and incredible supporter. So basically the show's being rescheduled for May 31st, and there'll be a memorial for Brian Whittemore, who was such a great guy and big support of what we do. But let me ask you, Jeff, while you're here, how did you come up? How did music come into your life? How did you get involved with music?
I mean, it was always a big part of my life, you know, just like coming up. But I decided I wanted to go on and have it be a part where, whether it be the studio world or live. I went to school down at Full Sail in 2003, and I graduated with an associate's in recording.
Did you study audio engineering?
Yeah. Basically, it was kind of the school had been operating for a while, and a friend of mine went down a couple of years prior to me and told me how great the program was, and I was like, I want to get my foot in the door. And you know, I knew I wasn't traditional college. That wasn't for me. I was never going to do that. So I was like, I'm going to try my hand at this. Hopefully it sticks. And here I am. You know, the recording world kind of brought me into the live touring world and playing and all that kind of other stuff. But it's really awesome. I wouldn't have it any other way.
My son went to SCAD.
Okay.
Savannah College, which it was between Full Sail and SCAD. He ended up going to SCAD, and he really enjoyed it. That's in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
And he really did well there. And now he's in Hollywood, working and doing quite well for himself. What was the first music that you were exposed to?
Growing up, like probably from my dad's record collection was always like kind of, you know, the Woodstock era kind of stuff. Hendrix, Zeppelin, The Doors, all that kind of stuff. My mom listened to a lot of like Motown stuff and like Whitney Houston and all that kind of stuff, whatever. It was just always playing in the house. My older brother was kind of what got me into like the heavier stuff coming up and more the metal scene. And then as it goes down, you know, into the hardcore scene, that kind of came, you know, a little bit later, but it was always, I was gravitating towards heavier stuff.
And who inspired you to pick up a guitar?
It was Hendrix was a big part of it because
that's going big. That's go big or go home.
I can't play remotely like that guy. I'm more of a caveman when it comes to it, but there was something he was doing with the guitar that I was like, wow, that's, you know, something like you never hear before. And then of course, like the Stevie Ray Vaughns and all that kind of stuff where people are doing stuff with the guitar that you're like, wow, I want to do that. And it's the same thing. I never was like, oh, I'm going to be that guy, but it always made me want to have a guitar in my hand and see what I could do, you know?
Yeah. Did you take formal lessons at all? Or did you just, you know?
It was like in the beginning, there was like my older brother, one of his friends gave me a couple of lessons and I tried, and I kind of just was like, you know what, I'm going to try and do it by the ear, you know, just listen to records and go from there. Like I wish like nowadays everyone has like YouTube and you can listen and slow things down and learn the riff exactly as it was. You know, I've butchered plenty of songs, but at least, you know, like you learn by ear. I still learn by ear a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. YouTube is very helpful for sort of novice guitar players like myself who can go, oh shit, how do you play? And you just go and sort of look. Back in the day, it would be pretty difficult.
Yeah, I mean, and you could slow it down and it doesn't change the pitch, which is killer too. Like you could learn note by note if you really wanted to. There's a lot more tools for people nowadays. If you want to learn guitar or learn anything really, there's so many people that on different platforms that can show you how to do things, and you just figure it out on your own too.
Sure. I know you mentioned that when you came out of Full Sail, you ended up as an internship at Big Blue Meanie, sort of legendary New Jersey recording studio.
Yeah, and that was a thing that I seeked out when I first got out. I was like, all right, where am I going to go? Because I'm originally from Northern Connecticut, so I was commuting, you know, every weekend to Jersey City, and you know, you see all the albums that were done there. You know, like Hold It Down was recorded there, and you know, a huge favorite record of mine from Madball, and I was like, you know what? I seen Billy Milano work there, Roger Moret worked there, and did producing and everything. And then, you know, Tim, who owned the studio, was a legend in his own right, you know, just so well known. And I'm like, when I went down there, a buddy of mine, me and Joe, we ended up interning there at the same time. And Tim was just like, what'd you go to school?
What was Tim's last name again?
Oh, man.
Tim,
shit.
Oh, it's right there. All right, go ahead. So
it's just
Tim,
funny. Man.
Tim Gillis.
Tim Gillis. Yeah. And
Thank you, Joel.
He's in Australia now, him and his wife. But like,
oh, wow.
I just remember like when I went down there and he's like, what'd you do? Pay all that money to go to that school for? You could have come here. You could have paid me. And or he's like, I would have taught you for free. Yeah. He just was a big personality. And that was always like, the dude was brilliant, and he kind of was passing the torch and everything like that and wanted to keep it alive. Him and Eric, one of the studio managers, and just it was really rad to be a part of that. And I was really kind of bummed out to hear when they sold it off. And I think it's like a rooftop bar now in Jersey City or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But then
go ahead.
No. Then it was like a thing where I was always heavy into biohazard. And an opportunity came up with Danny and Billy's studio down in South Amboy. And, I sent them an email, got on the phone with the guys, and they said, yeah, come down and work here. And I'd done a couple assistant engineering gigs at Blue Meanie, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to take the chance and go down here. Tim's like, hey, man, do it, like.
I did not realize that you worked. What was their did their studio have a formal name? Was it Rat Piss or Underground or something?
When it was in Brooklyn, it was called Rat Piss Studios.
That one I remember.
Yeah. And then when they moved it to Jersey, they changed it to Underground Sound Studios.
Right.
So they were there for a number of years, and it was like they had their studio down the end of the hallway, and then there was a bunch of rehearsal rooms.
Yeah.
I think there was another studio at the top of the thing there. So.
They had that studio in Dumbo before Dumbo was, as it was just starting to turn. But like they had the studio right like by the bridge in Dumbo when it was still gnarly down there. It was nowadays it's like totally different, but it was nasty down there when they first got that studio. And the reason they called it Rat Piss Studios because there was rats running all over the place and it stunk like rat piss.
Yeah. It probably had something to do.
You remember that, Warren?
All
right. I'm going to bring you on in a second, Warren. So it just before we bring Warren. So how eventually, because we're going to touch on this, how eventually did you start teching?
So when I worked at Underground and, with Danny and Billy, it turned into a thing where Billy was doing that side project that he had, or it was kind of newer when Biohazard was kind of like slowing down a little bit, Suicide City. And
right.
Billy, he knew that I was a guitar player, and he's like, hey, your stuff, because I've had to help out in the studio, like, fix things or do this and that. And he's like, how do you feel about coming out on the road? And I was like, absolutely, I'm totally down to do that. And, obviously through that, over the years, like, Nick Gargano is one of his longtime guitar tech. He definitely passed me a lot of tips from like years on the road, like here and there. But like, it was just a learning experience there because I wasn't really a full-fledged guitar tech. I was like, I know my stuff about gear, but it was kind of like getting thrown into the fire. Like, all right, get in there and figure it out.
Thrown into the fire teching for Billy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was wild. It was cool. I mean, I kind of ran most of the band too. So it was like all the stringed instruments. I was kind of the guy. So
yeah,
I was with them for a while. And then it kind of turned into like a referral thing where, everybody in New York, like Sal Abriscato was doing a project with my boy Gene Blank. He put me up for the Typo Negative, the Life of Agony gig. And then from there, he put me up for the Typo Negative, which turned out to be their last tour in 2009.
I mean, you're a top shelf tech these days. You've been out, with Testament, and you've worked with Dave Navarro, and aren't you these days? Aren't you out with Korn? Yeah,
I did most last year with Korn. It was kind of like a mid '90s throwback year. I did February, March with Marilyn Manson.
Oh wow!
And then, funny enough, my boy Warren Lee gave me the call and said, "Hey, I got this thing happening." It was a one-off thing in New York City at the Armory, and it happened to be an art show, and they had Monkey from Korn was doing ambient guitar over this art show for like a small thing. And
Sure.
I met up with him and was working on, he just brought like a small pedal board and his guitars, and I set everything up and ran stuff. He kind of liked the way I worked, and he said, hey, I'm actually looking for somebody, you know, for Korn if you're available. And I was like, yeah, let's go, man. I mean, you know, they kind of laid out the schedule. Dude's super cool, like good vibes. You know, everyone in that camp, like crew and just everything is so sick. It's like a whole different type of world. I still like to, you know, I don't care what it is. I love touring. It doesn't need to be, oh, it's this crazy thing, like, oh, expensive stuff. Like I still road dog in bands and stuff like that. And that's especially with Sworn Enemy. Forget it. Like we just want to play.
Yeah, no, you guys are animals. You guys grind hard. Speaking of grinding hard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Warren Lee.
Yeah. What up? What's going on?
Can you hear us now?
Yes, now I can hear. I don't know what happened.
So so look at you giving out gigs left and right, huh?
I mean, so again, I get a bunch of calls still, and most of the time I can't do them, right? So and this call actually worked out because again, it wasn't for Korn in particular, but it was for Monkey, and I kind of knew. I was like, man, once Jeff gets out there and does his thing, they're gonna be like, oh, you know, because I knew Korn was looking for someone too, so it worked out, right? So
yeah,
crazy.
You kind of put the ball in motion, and you know Jeff's gonna do good, so it's gonna happen, right? So
does Warren? I wouldn't say you're semi-retired, but you're not working on.
No,
you're not out.
I am semi-retired. You can say
okay.
that.
You're semi. Okay, you're. I know you're semi-retired. You spent many years on the road with Slayer and with Rancid. So, like you said, I'm assuming you still get these calls.
I still get calls all the time, right? So, I mean, I'm flattered. And I do entertain most of them, but a lot of them are just either too long or they're just not the right timing, right? So my life isn't set up for me to be able to take a call like that and just be like, oh, you know, I can leave for 5 weeks, you know, next week or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And you guys have worked together.
We've done.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us how you guys have worked together.
I mean, Jeff, we've done Europe, the States, and South America together, right?
And Australia.
With who? With what band?
Slayer and I was with Slayer, and Jeff was with Anthrax at the time.
Yeah,
right? So,
I was running stage right for Frank Bello and John Donato and Anthrax. Yeah.
And I'm on stage right for Slayer, right? So
yep. So that was kind of like the dream. It was mad funny. Like I show up and I was like, oh shit! Like him and Johnny Arai are chilling there, and Warren's just like, what's up, man? He's like, yeah, you're lucky who you are. You're like, whatever, busting my balls. I was like, I love it. He's like, yeah, Frank Bello. He goes, yeah, we'll put his rig over here. I was like, but you'll be right here. It's like, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, like, because you see it in a situation like that, it's like, oh man, this is good. This is fine, right? Because again, sometimes it's tight up there on stage, and you got to share space. We always share space, but it's easier to share the space with one of your homies than a stranger, right? So, you know what I mean?
Well, that's Drew. That's always the thing too. Is like Warren and Johnny. Like there was Slayer. It's like Slayer has a big production, but it was always accommodating. I'd be like, yo, I'll be over here. I'll be off deck. I'll run the cable out. They're like, no, you're right here. Don't worry about it.
And on stage, right in our area, in guitar world, where the rest of the guitar worlds are, right? Like
100%.
Warren, you worked. If I remember correctly, you worked with Jeff Hanneman, but you also teched for Tom. And you kind of went around the horn with Slayer, right? Can you hear me? We lost him.
Yeah, Drew, we lost you, right?
Damn.
Warren, can you hear me?
I can hear Jeff, but we can't.
You can't hear me. Fuck. Jeff, ask him who he worked with Slayer.
Hey, he's asking like who you worked with Slayer. You did stuff with Tom. You kind of did a little bit of everything over there. Like obviously you were with Jeff.
Yeah, I did. So with Slayer, I've been with them over 20 years. So in that 20 years, I have worked for everybody on that stage that played a string instrument. Right. So whether it was Jeff, Kerry, Tom, Gary Holt, right? I don't think I ever did like Pat O'Brien, Phil. I never got a chance to do, right? When the filling guys happened, I ended up getting moved. I was taking care of Gary, and I got moved to Gary, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, I being there so long and knowing all the rigs, like, it's easy for me to float, right? Because whatever, like, okay, well, we can fill this and this spot, but we can't fill this spot. You go here, right? So that's how that works.
Slayer, the Swiss Army. You're the Swiss Army knife of Slayer for sure.
Yeah, you just listen. Just being there for so long, and you just paid. You know everything, right? So it's easy to do that, right? So the only thing I never did there was drums, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, right. You did Kerry King too. Let me. I guess I should.
You're gonna have to relay the questions. I can't hear, right? So.
I'm gonna kick Warren off and then have him sign back on. Tell him I'm gonna kick him off. And
he's gonna send you out and bring you back in to see if the audio is back on.
All right, cool.
So,
yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the thing is like Warren is. I mean, I met him. Shit, there was a tour. I think it was in 2002. I think it was Madball was coming back, and they did the run with Agnostic Front and With Honor, and they did Connecticut, Starland, and then I think they did 2 nights at the Downtown in Farmington. Yeah. And then I remember I ran into him and Royce, and even they didn't know who I was, and like it was always just. But I was at all those shows, and then like Freddie was like, "Yo, like put him on the list for the next day," and then like from there I was like, "Cool, like maybe I'll run into this dude in the future." And then we toured the fucking world, like all over the place. Like it was wild shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jeff, you worked. Did you tech for Frank?
Do the scream, Jeff. Do the scream. Woo!
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No. It was like, I worked with Frank Bello and John Donay. So I was with Anthrax for like 6 years. So that was when I started with them in 2017. That was kind of right before they started doing all the Slayer stuff, which that was like the final couple of years, like 2-3 years of farewell Slayer. So
yeah,
it was awesome to be that Anthrax was involved with so heavily on those like final tours.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Makes life easy too on tour. Like you know what I mean? It's just it's a good vibe. It should be like that all the time with any band, really, right? But again, it's easier when it's your homie, right?
Yeah,
sure. It's just it's a fun day, right? You can fuck off. You can fucking fuck with each other. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
And Jeff, is it hard to balance? I mean, you have Sworn Enemy, which is getting some momentum. I know you guys have new management. You guys got some good stuff lined up. How do you balance that?
I think the unfortunate thing about it is like over the years, there'll be some years where everything lines up perfectly with tours. You'd be like, cool, I got my work schedule and then the band schedule. Sometimes the tour lines up, you have a couple weeks at home and then you're out right again and playing. So it keeps everything super fresh. It's great. But that last year, the last 2 years, I feel like I've missed a bunch of shows. Luckily, we have our boy Ian that fills in, and now he's kind of just become a third guitar player at this point.
Yeah, Pooch told me you guys have 3 guitar players now.
It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, especially where like the stuff that we play. But what we're writing now, we're trying to incorporate more. Like, all right, there's 3 guitar players. There better be 3 motherfucking guitar parts happening at one time.
Seriously, there's few bands that have 3 guitar players. Leonard Skinner being one of them.
Dude, we're
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, right? Iron Maiden. Here. Wait, hold on a second. Bands with 3 guitar players. Post it up. Bands with 3 guitar players.
Whitechapel.
I don't know Whitechapel.
Whitechapel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen? Let me see. Jeff, have you seen your Hardcore Legends trading card?
No, I haven't.
There you go.
I think I've seen one. Sal has one.
There you go.
Look at that. I'm confused.
Yeah.
And that was with Eric.
That's line checking Eric Peterson's guitar, I think. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. What guitar is that?
Yeah, that's Eric Peterson's signature Dean.
From
it's called a Z.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Warren, good eye, Warren.
I mean, dude, it's fucking guitar nerds, right? We're nerds, right?
All gear, all the time.
And here's the back of it. Is that right? Is Jeff is basically Sworn Enemy? The first, like your first and like main band you've been in.
Look at that, gapped. I mean,
Yeah.
I had stuff that was like when I was in high school, and then I ended up playing bass with a band out of New Hampshire that I was recording at the time. They needed a bass player, but yeah, I mean, as far as something that would be the main thing I've ever done, I mean, this year will be 16 years I've been in Sworn Enemy.
Wow.
Which is weird to think, but Sal always brings it up. He'd be like, "You've been in the band." Like it's me, you, and then Lorenzo would be like the longest tenured people in the band. And, because him and Lorenzo pretty much were like started the thing. And, you had people over the years that were mainstays like Paulie, you had Jamin and Sid. So, Mike Raff, it was just people that were there for years. But I'm like, shit, 16 years. What the fuck?
There's your rookie card, bro.
Dude, that was my first year. That was 2010. That was the first tour I did with Sworn Enemy. With that 94 Jackson.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
Yeah, I found
Is
that.
a neck through?
No, it's a bolt-on.
Bolt-on, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Dinky. So basically, I found that in Mike's Music in Cincinnati on the Typo Negative tour in 09. And I was like, yep.
So for all you all you hardcore fans out there, the Jackson Soloist, I think, was one of the first guitars for at least like heavier for New York bands, right? East Coast bands, Marauder and Matt Henderson, right? Were the first dudes. And I remember, that was like a neck through guitar. It had a floating bridge. It was like, whoa, what is this all about? And then Jeff Hanneman played one, right? So it was like, dude.
Yep. Oh,
there's your rookie card.
And
Look at that kid. Jesus.
Yo.
There you go.
No tattoos, black hair.
There's and here's I think he updated your card. Here's the
Thanks,
regular.
Josh. Thanks, Josh. Shout out to Josh, right? So
yeah, shout out to Josh. Yeah, there you go. Nailed to the cross.
There it is.
Nice. Awesome.
Hey, speaking of Marauder, wow, Rick Lopez, man, what's up? Wow.
Rick Lopez, yeah, there you go. Rick Lopez knows, right? So
yeah,
I think it was Saab that played the soloist, right? So and it was Matt Henderson, and those two guys had a huge influence, at least in that, and just like Craig Satari had the Sansamp, right? He was the first guy. Him and Hoya were the first two guys to come out with that Sansamp DI for bass, right? Everyone's like, "Whoa, what is that?" And that's still a mainstay to this day, right? So look at that. Thank you, Joshua.
I always remember Matt Henderson with the soloist. That was always stuck out. And
for sure.
I played Jackson forever, and I was always like, man.
Huge influence for guitar players or whatever, right? That came, that were influenced by hardcore at least. So
huge, yeah, huge.
I got to show you guys something. Hold on. As I'm looking for it, hold on. Keep talking. Talking about the sand.
I think everyone Ibanez, right? Jeff was like, when we first started, everyone had Ibanez, right?
Ibanez was definitely everywhere, and that was something like you could just pick up, and it wasn't too crazy expensive.
Sure. And for me personally, I got the Ibanez bug from Alan Roberts, Life Agony.
Okay.
He played that sound gear model.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh, what's that? You know what I mean? And it was affordable. I was like, wow, cool.
Those are killer.
Yeah, that was my second bass, right? My first one was, I think, the model was an EB404, if I remember correctly. It was just standard bolt-on, bullshit model or whatever. But that was my first bass. Second one was that sound gear, right? So
the EB4, that was an Ibanez as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. First two were Ibanez's, right? I think I bought Aria Pro somewhere in between, but never.
I have an Aria Pro in storage still. Yeah.
Never played it. It was like a fucking.
I found it. check this out. I made a post the other day, just about it was a couple shots of us when we played the Limelight back, because we used to play the Limelight, and yeah, and right, who is involved with Fryette and Sound City and all that. Is a shot of him when he was in.
Look at
playing Anthem. Yeah. So the head and cabinet behind him, that Ampeg head and cabinet, which we still have in the storage room along with all the shit, that is the head and cabinet that he created the SansAmp bass driver from.
Wow, there you go.
That's it, right there. That's the head. We used to call that thing the Widowmaker. Because like if that thing will fuck you, that thing, it's like carrying a refrigerator around with but that is the head.
That's funny.
And the cabinet that Zum created the SansAmp bass driver from. Wow. Right there. That's it. Yep.
And you guys, that's still in storage, you said?
We have all that shit still. We've got it all.
I mean, Zum's a genius, right? So
yeah, I mean, our storage room is
dude, I was trying to convince TC Electronics to try to do that Scott Ian pedal, right?
Yeah,
or, you know that TC. You know, Jeff, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That fucking thing too. Same shit, right? The SOD tone.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I remember because we were at the Gear Locker in California, and Scott had busted out the old Marshall, like the camo.
Dude.
With the old JCM 800, and he plugged in the pedal, and it was like, whoa, there it is.
I'm telling you, any band back then, man, that, you know, JCM 800 and whatever stomp box you used, right? Obituary was the Boss. The Boss Overdrive was 800. Yep. Slayer basically was the 800 with the RGE EQ band, right? You know what I mean? So that's all you needed, right? That 800 and like some good stomp box, man, and that was your tone, dude.
Yeah.
I think this is a segue. This is a segue for our next guest. So let's bring on our next guest, hailing from the bastion of heavy and hard music, Queens, New York. Once again, he's known as a bass player, but also as a guitarist, pianist, drummer, and vocalist. Best known for his work with the bands Anthrax, Nuclear Assault, SOD, Hemlock, The Ravenous, Venomous Concept, Extra Hot Sauce, Holy Moses, Brutal Truth, Exit 13, and others. Please welcome, coming at us from Rochester, New York, our good friend and supporter, Danny Lilker.
Hello, where am I?
Hey, there you are.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Danny? How you doing, bro?
All right, how's everybody going?
Good.
How you doing, Danny?
Pretty good, man. You guys are all talking about shit like that fucking TC Electronics pedal, which I used on that record too.
Exactly, dude. That thing was the fucking shit, man. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, holy fuck, dude. That you know, back then for any band that had distorted guitars, that was like, you know, the secret stomp box, right? Matt Henderson had one too, right? So, you know, from AF.
Who made that? What was it?
TC Electronics.
Yeah, the Danish company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still around. They still make products, right?
And
they make good tuners, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Well, the ironic thing is you guys were talking about SansAmp pedals. The SansAmp guitar pedal, not the bass driver, is what I've been using for fucking 30 years because it was the closest I found to that TC Electronics pedal I used on the SOD record.
That's,
you know, I went to the big muff and all this grunge shit, and it didn't work.
Right.
See, that's why your tone sounds so like it's unachievable. Like, how do you get that?
Well,
you got to use a guitar pedal, like, you know what I mean? That's awesome, dude. That's, you know, that's what
part
makes
of it.
Your, you know, yeah, that's great. That's what makes, you know.
Danny, in those early Anthrax days, and here's an early Anthrax shot. What was the basis of the Danny Lilker bass sound? Was it just straight into the head, or what were you using in the very early Anthrax days?
Okay, then I believe it was either a PV or a Marshall, but that was before I got turned on to playing with a bunch of distortion by listening to like Motorhead or Discharge or Venom or something. So that would have been, I still would have had kind of a burly tone because I played aggressively, but that could have been like, you know, a combo PV amp back then. And we were just kids rehearsing. We weren't playing out that much. So I believe we had to kind of like, if you made the jump to a half stacked and you're like, all right, now I got some professional looking shit instead of, the combo sitting in the corner. I mean, that was easy though, because you could just throw it in the trunk. But yeah, I mean, you are talking about 45 years ago or so now, but it would have been either Marshall, Peavy, and my cat might make a cameo here too.
PV.
Yeah,
PV was the shit back then for bass.
It was. PV had a run there.
And
Yeah.
listen, like PV, the 5150, hey, right? That was the fucking tone at one point for guitars, man. You know what I mean? The first line, the OG ones, not the ones they reissued those, right?
Block
The
leather,
OG
yeah.
5150s.
Is that right, Joel? Excuse me. What's up, Joel?
what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? I had no idea, Danny, you were going to come on. How's it going, man?
How's it going, dude?
Good. I was listening to your era of Anthrax this morning.
Oh, yeah, and that's funny because I did some shows with them about a year and a half ago. So when Jeff was talking about that he works for John, I'm like, that's the side of the stage I stood on. Except there was just more distortion. That's all.
You did that. You did the whole South American run there, right?
Yeah, and then kind of like the two big corporate festivals here in the States, Welcome to Rockville and Sonic Temple. But yeah, I mean, playing in like Ecuador and Uruguay and stuff like that, that was pretty cool.
Right on.
So you took like a 40-year break, basically, between gigs with Anthrax.
Yeah. I said I'll be right back. I'm going out for a pack of Luckies or whatever.
Right. I'm going out for some milk and cigarettes, and he never came back.
Yeah, they didn't have the right brand.
Never to return. Hey, how's things up in Rochester, Danny?
Yeah, that's me around noon. And we have a nice big picture.
300 more feet.
So I'm sorry that it's not in the woods or anything like that, but that is actually our front yard, and we have a big picture window in the living room. So my lovely wife was able to stay inside and take a picture of me, and I just stood out there before anybody called the cops. Because usually I'm going to have a sword or something like that. And I'm like, that's probably not a good idea right now.
This is great. Can I use this? Can I use this for a flyer for incendiary device?
Oh, you go right ahead, dude. You can do whatever you want with it, man.
Hey, I saw your friend and bandmate the other night. I saw John Connolly. There was like a cat rescue benefit thing, and he got up and played a couple songs with non-residents here in Brooklyn. I went and saw him. Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard. What's the guy's name? Amaro.
Yeah. Actually, he said when you played at my wedding, he's the one that did vocals for "Got the Time."
Right, and then I heard he sang a Nuke song, New Song or something like that.
I think so.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, so that guy said, "Hey,
yo," shouting out Chris Kontos.
Chris
What's up?
Kontos.
Oh,
Fuck
shit.
yeah, Chris.
Hey, Chris, come on the show. Chris, where are you? It's that kind of a party today.
I should also give a shout out to my friends from Glasgow, Scotland. Go Down Fighting, good old hardcore.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit them in April and jump on stage and play a couple of old hardcore classics and a couple of old Danny songs with those guys. So that should be fun.
Nice.
Try to just I don't know. I want to play a Discharge song. We'll do that. We'll see. I mean, that's 3 chords, right?
Let me hold on. Hey, Kontos, I'm sending you the link. Why not? Yeah. Hello to Heather. Hey, excuse me, Laurie.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah. I just wanted to say hello to Heather.
Oh,
How you doing?
She's gonna stay off camera. She
Yes, I know.
She had a bit of a slip and a fall. We were actually leaving a Murphy's Law show at the Boke Jar, and the ice was a little more slippery than it should have been. So
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, she's still recovering from that little incident. Yeah, that was the first time I saw. I took pictures with Jimmy and Sheer Terror played, so it was kind of nostalgic, and it was a great evening until we had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I hope she feels better soon.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, she's definitely come along.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, have you seen your rookie card? Look at this one.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I think I was like 15, but look, I still had spikes on. Yeah,
What is
bass
that?
is it?
What is that? A Gibson
Gibson
SG bass? What is
that
that?
is an SG bass.
Fuck
Lift up
yeah,
that
dude. Look at that. Look how rare that is, huh?
Yeah. That's I think it's
And
even like a lefty.
Turned
like,
upside. It's a righty.
It's a righty turned upside down.
Well, at that, when you're 15, you can take whatever the fuck you can get.
Fucking dude. Look at that. That's great.
hard.
Yeah, and I was wearing I think just like a wife beater and a leather vest, and I thought that would be metal enough.
and look, and the studded bracelet just grinding on the guitar.
The set of
yeah,
bracelet
dude.
that my sister got
Battle
me at
scars.
Trash and Vaudeville for my 16th birthday, along with a hit of acid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking stories right there. Look at that, huh?
What happened to
Yeah.
that bass?
I have no idea what the hell happened to that. I still have the first bass I ever bought. Well, I mean, it's not in very good shape right now, but I still have that in a storage room in the house. It didn't even,
Right.
it was a precision mock, but it didn't even have a name. So out of sympathy, I just called it Henry. So, it wasn't like a Honer or a fucking, it was
A
just
Honer.
it was such a knockoff that it was just generic and anonymous.
Hey, Jeff, what was your first guitar? Was it a Honer or what's the other one we always goof on?
Hondo.
A Hondo. Was it a Hondo?
Hondos are
Yeah,
shitty.
man. Hondos were the shit back then, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, for $149. Yeah.
Was there ever Warren? Was there ever an instance of someone being like, "Can you hot rod a Hondo?" Can that happen?
I mean, dude, let me tell you something. Tim Armstrong has a studio that he's got a lot of guitars that he are hot rodded, man. So yeah, there are situations where fuck yeah, dude, Anders
be like,
made a fucking goddamn pedal for Gary Holt out of a Cheez-It bottle.
A
Yeah,
what?
Cheez-It can, a cheese, like the Easy Cheese, the spray can.
Yeah.
He made a stomp box out of that for him. So
Well, if you wanted to take a Lamborghini engine, stick it in a fucking VW, you could try that. But
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, from the west coast of California, currently in the recording studio with Forbidden, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Kontos. What's up?
look at that. Holy shit! What's up?
how you doing,
y'all?
Hey, what's up? Are you in the studio with Forbidden? Is that what's up?
Yeah, we just did like 21 days straight, and then we're taking a break because we're going down to South America with Venom and Violence. So we're gonna rehearse for a little bit, and then we take off on like the 5th for a few shows down there. So we're on a break, but we got just a few more days, man. We're right there. The record's almost done.
Venom's at it again?
Well, Venom Inc.
Oh, Venom Inc. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Tony Dolan.
All right.
Yeah.
What's up with the Forbidden Rec? Is that Zeus producing it?
No, that's Zach Oren. He works with Machine Head and ton of different people. He's our guy. We did the first 3 with him, and I've done a few records with him. Craig's done a few records. He's fucking great. We love it. It's coming out, Geller.
Cool.
That's amazing. We did Game Changer with him, our last record at Shark Bite.
Right. That's where we are at Shark Bite. Yeah, you guys. We actually listened to a bit of it, man. It's great.
Yeah, he's great.
Where's Shark Bite?
It's in Oakland.
It's in Oakland. Yeah, Jack London Square. It's cool.
Of course, it's in Oakland. Chris Kontos doesn't leave the Bay Area.
Well, I miss my home state. I miss New York, but I'm kind of I'm pinned down out here.
Dude, yeah. All I know is when we come to the Bay Area, we look forward to seeing you.
Oh, it's always good hangs with you guys, man, for sure.
Oh,
So it's party day here.
Yeah. Michelle says this lineup today is if this is a band right here. This is the band. Danny Lilker, Chris Kontos, Jeff Cummings, Warren Lee.
Wow, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the metal hardcore Hollywood squares from where I'm looking.
Is it safe to ask? And listen, anybody out there wants to ask a question along the way? It's that kind of a party today. Is it fair to ask at 619 Dark Chris? Any idea when the new Forbidden album's coming out?
Well, we just signed with Black to Black, so you know how that rolls, right? They got to go through all their procedures and protocols and all that stuff for promotion and everything. So we're hoping for June 1st. So hopefully, but you know, don't hold me to it.
Hope on, man. We're sitting here on our ass for feels like 6 months waiting for our fucking new record to come out. It is, you know, you record it, it's done, you hand it in, and then you forget about it. You get despondent. Already, I'm like over it.
Songs, right?
I'm over it. I'm over it. It's not even out yet, and I'm like over it.
In the
Well,
old
what
days,
happens is you write the best song you've ever written, and it's not on the record.
Right?
although
I kind of try to get over that by playing it for my closest friends. Then you know you feel like at least your homies have heard it, right?
I feel like that's what we just did. We're already working on new material, and I know everybody says this, but we have a song that's the best thing we've ever written, and it's not on the new record. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, I got a question for you, man.
All right.
Because we have a mutual friend in common. What's up, Scotty Wilkins?
Oh yeah.
But you know, you've done a lot of bands, obviously. But tell me a little bit about Verbal Abuse in that era in your career, because you know, one of my favorite bands, and of course, Scotty was in the band at that time as well. So that would have been what, late '80s, early '90s for you?
Yeah. Well, I originally was their drum roadie. So I worked for the band for a really long time, and that all kind of happened there. MDC had to cancel a European tour in '89, and they called us with like 5 days notice, and we took it. And Greg called me and said, "Hey, you ready to go to Europe?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all good, man. Got my duct tape and everything ready to go." And he said, No. You need to grab a pair of drumsticks. You're the guy." And I was like, "What?" And that's how that all started. You know, dear friends of mine for years. But I went and did that tour, and we did back-to-back 3.5-month tours over there. It was like all squats and, you know, venues and like a lot of squats, and it was really cool. And that, you know, that was we recorded a really cool live record over there with Destiny Records, and then came home and, you know, band jive, a little member change action, and then did a record with Century Media called Red, White, and Violent, and then it kind of just, you know, explodes as it does.
No.
Really? Yeah. But we had great times.
That never happens in this business.
Yeah, so it was great, and I love Scotty's new band. You know, Infamous Stiffs, really cool. I get to see him when I go to LA, and you know, he's a survivor, man. He had a brutal heart attack. And, you know, he's back on top. He's got his health all straight and everything. You know, he's sober, and that's really great. And so, yeah, I love those guys, you know. And then Verbal Abuse still kind of goes on with Nikki Sicky and Dave Chavez. They kind of do their version. But,
me and Sicky Nikki have the same birthday.
Oh, really?
And we're the same age.
Nice. Yeah, he's a fucking beast. That guy's an animal.
Hey, Danny, I was with Craig Satari last night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Queens. Yeah.
Right on.
And he was playing that red. What is that? Dude. What is that? A music man? What is that? Red?
No, it's a fucking knockoff. Actually, it's something like, you know, I was talking about it last night, right? It's a knockoff of a Fender, right? So.
Yeah, but it's some kind of Frankenstein thing.
Oh, dude, but that thing is so nice, man. I actually was lucky enough to work for Scully, and when he had that thing on tour with him, right? So I got to fucking work on that bass, right? So
I think he told me the story. I think he bought those. Remember Rudy? I think it was Rudy's Music on 48th Street.
Oh yeah.
I think he walked into Rudy's and bought this red one, and he bought the black one. I think.
I mean, that thing is so fucking beat up now.
Wow.
You know, holy.
He
shit,
played it last night, right?
Yes, he did.
Damn, look at that thing.
I mean, damn, dude, that thing is like hardcore history. You know, that should be in the punk rock museum for a little bit, man.
Oh hell yeah, that bass is iconic. Yeah,
no, that's not a Charvel, Larry. That's not a Charvel. Not a G&L. I forgot what the hell.
No, it's not a
is.
GNL either. It's a fucking man. It's some random company that never.
Oh,
really...
I think I remember now. I think I remember. He told me it was like a company that was making stuff like just for Rudy's music. It was like kind of an in-house. They were just selling them out of Rudy's.
Right? Exactly. So that's you'll never recreate that. But that thing, I'm so amazed that he still got it. And I can't believe he still plays it. Like, damn, keep that thing at home. Fuck.
Totally. I think my buddy Pete Masillo just did some work to it. I think he might have done some fret work to it or something like that. Because I believe.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he mentioned something like that, right? So I think that thing needs to be refretted completely, man. So
yeah, I think he was saying something like when Sick of It All was in Australia, he had someone. He's like, something's not right, and he had a guy do some work to it. And he's like, it's still messed up, but he made all the shows happen. He's just like, it doesn't feel right.
First of all, you brought it to Australia.
Yeah,
man, on a flight like that, fuck, and that probably, right.
Well, so. I'm sending Zum the link. Let's see if Zum will come on the show.
Yeah, when you're bringing something like that on the road, it's like that's got to be his baby at this point. He's had it for so long and done so many projects.
Yeah, you get terrified it's going to get smashed by some stupid airline because that has happened more than once.
Oh yeah, dude. So,
Grazie all'Italia, and
and it's just, man, it's just a long flight to have that thing out there. Just keep it at home and use it in the studio, please.
Is that 40? Oh, guitar. Okay, there's Zum. Hey, Zum, I just sent you the link. He said the bass came from Guitar Man 48th Street.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Hey, I just sent you the link, bro. Come on the show.
Some random shop, that he got.
Yeah, right.
Like,
it wasn't Rudy's. I was wrong.
You know what I mean, or whatever. So there you go.
A company that I wasn't familiar with, but my bass player Mike Pooch has. Anybody familiar with Padula? Padula basses.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar.
He ended up, he got this bass. I think he got it at a pawn shop. I don't know how many years ago, forever ago. And he went. Padula had a booth at NAMM, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the bass I have." And they're like, "Dude, that's a prototype. It's like a one of one." And he's like, "I've been playing this on the road, like bringing it all over the place." And they're like, "What?" He just gave me that. He has a 4 and a 5 string, and I'm gonna be doing some work on them. But they're amazing basses, and he said they were Manhattan, New York City, forever.
Don't change the parts. Don't change the parts.
No.
Is that right? Gene Simmons played Padulas in the early '80s.
There you go.
All the NAMM stuff is coming onto my feed now, right? It's like it's Nuno and Billy Sheehan and this dude.
Hey, Nuno has a new line of guitars out, right? So that should be cool for all you guitar nerds out there. Go check that out, right? So he's got a new signature guitar out. So
you ever go to the NAMM show, Lilker?
Oh, I got no. I mean, dude, you just give me something with 4 strings that's black, and I'm fucking happy.
Yeah.
No, I've never. Put it this way: I've had various endorsements. I've had, BC Rich and Jackson. I mean, Ibanez now, and sure, I want something that plays well. I mean, but I'm not super picky about that stuff. And if I get something, if I get a few free basses and they play well, then I will play that company.
Oh, yep.
But no, I've never been one of those dudes who goes to the trade show and checks out all this stuff. You give me a 5-string bass and I'll be all high and go, "What do you want me to do with this?" So, no, I appreciate the fact that there's people who are really down with all that stuff, and my buddies in Immolation go to those things. But as for me, there I am. Yeah, and there's my Immolation shirt too. Cool. Everything's all tied in there.
Yeah. I went to the NAMM show a couple of times back in the
gear,
day.
Man. If you like gear, man, you just you go there and just nerd out on gear, right? Because they just have all the newest, right? So
yeah.
Don't I have a shot of? I'm looking at. The NAMM show used to be pretty fun. I remember it was like
fun.
It can't be as big. It can't be as crazy as it used to be, right?
There's 156,000 tickets and passes this year.
Yeah, so there you go.
Wow.
It's
a
probably
zoo.
big.
It's an absolute zoo. You know, what used to be cool was the concrete foundation forums, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. And when that went away, I think NAMM said, "Oh, well, let's open this up to the public," right? And I've only been twice, and I got to say, it's a little, you know, if you're trying to talk business or trying to check out
overwhelming.
stuff,
it's overwhelming.
You can't even get in edgewise because there's so many fans. It's like selfie wars and autograph hounds and stuff, and that's cool, right? Like meet and greets and everything, meeting people. That's totally cool. But when you're there trying to like connect with somebody or meet up, it's a zoo. It's like impossible to get in edgewise any kind of business, and it's just and a lot of companies are pulling out. They're not representing there because it's so expensive and they don't get a lot of business done. So it's.
Excuse me. This just in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of my oldest and greatest friends, Neil Zum Osberg. What's up?
What's up, gang?
What's happening?
Hey.
Check out my terrace.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Hey, Zum, I showed a picture before of the. You get a kick out of this. I put it up the other day when on that Limelight thing, right?
Oh, right.
And you're playing here. Here it is. Correct. I'm pretty sure. Even if I'm wrong. Make sure I come off right, okay? In front of the whole world. This cabinet behind you when we were playing the Limelight or whatever, this is what you created the Sansamp bass driver from, right?
That head, that cabinet, that bass was what we used. We mic'd that up with an EV-RE20, which is, big mic that Didi Ramon used to use on his SVT. In a studio, and that's what we modeled the Sansamp bass driver.
What kind of pickups are those in there, Zone?
So that's a stock like 83 Jackson made in the USA with EMGs.
Okay.
And I never
active
use
or passive?
Active, but it doesn't have an EQ, meaning it doesn't boost bass and treble. It's just volume, tone.
Okay.
And so it's active, but it's not a preamp that like really drives the
sure it's not a driver, it's just a boost.
And then but that bass, I never used the bridge pickup. It's just the P pickup that I used, and I still have that bass. And it's just been, it was just like I tried a whole bunch of them at the time, and it was like that was the bass that sounded the best. I didn't buy it because I was like, oh, I need a red bass. But what's cool about it is it's completely maple. It's all curly maple with translucent red. So it just sounds like, bang, it's like very royal and cuts through any mess. It's just like very bright. And so that SVT head, that's a 76 head. You can't really tell, but I had like little buttons, that little pins that I would stick on the grill cloth, and one of them was like a Gumby. I had like a little Gumby pin, and then I think I had one that was like from the old SOD days that said, "I hate everyone I know." I think was with the other pin. That like I found on the floor of the Ritz after an SOD show.
And we have that head and about 3 other ones in our storage room, right?
That's right. That's right.
And
I mean, there's still nothing like it.
No, and for those that are wondering what Zum and I, back when we were in Antidote during the rock years, here you go. Here's me and Zum circa 1990.
Look at the hair. Look at the hair on you, Drew. Look at that.
Wow, sexy.
And that was in Soho. When Soho was Soho, right? It wasn't like a shopping mall. Like there was no like, Prada and all that. It's like, it was artists and it was, you just walk the neighborhood.
Great picture.
That's fucking awesome.
Okay, wait, one more. This is, and then I cut my one more, and then I ended up cutting my hair first. But here's you. This is when you were This is when you were working at where were you? Where were you working at Rudy's or Sam at not Rudy's
First,
Manny's?
oh, I worked at Sam Ash Paramus right out of college. Then I worked at Matt Humanov Guitars doing repairs on Bleecker Street. Then I learned how to like repair Martin acoustics and all kinds of stuff. And I worked on some, like a lot of people, from downtown would bring their stuff to repair there. Then I worked at Rogue Music on 30th Street, then Tech 21. And so I don't know, that might have been, I don't remember what era that was.
I actually remember what that was. That was like, there was some Christmas party that you guys used to have on 48th Street. And I went to some crazy at some Mexican restaurant, some crazy Christmas party where everybody was getting banged out.
That was Tech 21, yeah. So
it was Tech 21 when you were doing the Sans Amp.
Because the Sans Amp, like where we were originally located was, first we were in the back of Rogue Music on 30th Street, which was a music store that was on the 10th floor of an office building. And you'd like, the elevator would open up and it'd be like a music store up there. It's crazy. Keyboards, guitars. Rogue Music still exists, but it's a small shop on 30th. And then, so Tech 21 started in the back room of Rogue. And then we got a place on 48th and Broadway in 1600 Broadway. So in that building was originally like the old Popeye cartoons, like the really violent ones were animated in that building like years before. And then when we were in that building in the 90s, there was Roger Sadowski doing, Sadowski basses and repairs. There was Aguilar got started there for bass amps. And we were there until the building got torn down. So then the Tech 21 moved out of that place and they knocked it down. And now like where there's like the M&M store, like that's what where that building used to be. So, but we used to go right across the street. There was also across the street on 48th and Broadway and 7th was, there was a bunch of recording studios in the area. So we would do events at recording studios where people could try the products and we'd have parties there too. So yeah, it was it was a lot going on.
Here's a memory I have of 48th Street. You guys might remember this place as well.
Oh yeah, we buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean when you're a 17-year-old kid and you're walking in there and or just looking at the window of all these places, and it was just so overwhelming to take it all in because you were getting Guitar Player magazine and you're interested in all this stuff, and then you'd see them in the flesh, and then of course you couldn't afford it, but you'd walk in there, you'd be like, I want to try this one, and of course some of the cynical salespeople would be like, well, you don't look like you have $500 on you, but they made commissions, so if there was a shot that they were going to sell you something, then they would be elbowing each other out of the way. So, but no, I totally remember that. That brings back a lot of memories of just putting your nose up against the glass and going, wow, I wish I had $799 when,
And it was crazy. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff or Zum. This is before sort of the vintage instrument sort of feeding frenzy. And these guitars were just sort of hung up by wire. And they'd be like incredibly old guitars from the 50s and 60s just clang together, with the other guitars getting scratched up and banged up. This is when stuff was fairly affordable, right?
I think, I have a lot of friends that obviously they scored some crazy deals back in the day on 48th Street, and they'll talk about it even to this day. They're like, they buy and then they're like, it's all right, and they sell it. And they're like, if I held onto that guitar, it would be astronomical nowadays. And it was just this buy, sell, and trade era down there, as far as I know. I mean, I'm sure some knows way better than I do, but I just know from hearing stories, people being like the Holy Grail, it got away. I got it there, and who knew? You know, if everyone knew, oh, hey, a 50s gold top was going to be worth, you know, however many $100,000, you know, they probably would have been like, I'm going to get that and hold on to it.
Yeah.
Totally. Like it was like, I want to see if I might be able to find a photo. There's a photo of Beer Truck that I have somewhere because Beer Truck worked there from, what was his band? The Bullies. And so Richie Friedman, who We Buy Guitars, his parents owned it. And I think his grandfather started with a pawn shop. And it's true that the guitars, they would just take wire and just strap them around the peg head, around the tuners, and just hang them on hooks. And they would just all just connect, just leaning on each other. When I was a kid, a teenager, I went in there with my father and we saw a 56 Les Paul that somebody converted it from P90s to PAFs, and it was $2,500. So I mean, today, forget it. Just one of those pickups is worth more than that.
Wow.
And you know, they were like, and it was like sort of the cheap way to get a burst because it was, you know, modded, and so it was like crazy. So, but you could I remember, you know, they would let me play stuff. Like I remember Richie handing me a 1950s Telecaster, and I never realized that the necks were like, to me, a Tele was like the skinny neck, little torpy little thing. But the 50s, you know, had this kind of V neck that had some heft to it. And it was meaty and thick. It sounded great. You know, it sounded full. It didn't sound like a little, like, you know, but you know, in the 80s and the 90s, you know, these guitars were like, you know, you could never, you know, it just felt so thin. So, you know, that was, and just also the star power. I mean, I was down there and one day, and the guys from Bad Company were in Manny's shopping, and you'd see Peter Frampton, and you'd see like Stevie Wonder, and
Guns N' Roses blew up the spot on that place, man. And
Yeah.
right, Paradise City was the video, right? After that, everybody knew about that place. So
right. I mean, just because you know, it's a sad, you know, it's like, I hate to be like, they're like, the internet ruined everything, but it just, there was something special because people had to go there to get gear, and that's why there's like, you know,
I got
receipts from Jimi Hendrix.
I got
buying
one.
stuff.
I just came across this in my archive. This is photos that I scanned when I directed the Boston hardcore film. Here's a shot from 1982 of SSD Control down from Boston. And of course, back then you would make a pilgrimage to 48th Street. It's a rainy, they were probably doing a CB's matinee that day or the Rock Hotel that night. And I have a bunch of pictures of them on 48th Street, kind of window gazing and We Buy Guitar and all that. Pretty cool. Crazy. Good shit, man.
that's awesome.
So, but these days, so like Warren, like now, like with all this technology that's happening, in your experience, how many people that are playing heavy music are using the technology, like the modelers, digital modelers,
Oh, everyone.
digital pedals?
Everyone's using it, man. The technology is crazy, ridiculous now, right? So it makes sense for younger bands, man. It's less gear to carry. You know what I mean? It's sensible, right? Economically, it sounds. If you do it right, I guess you can get away with it. I personally don't like it. I can hear the difference, but it's, you know, you can get away with it, right? So,
Jeff?
It's getting closer. I mean, you look at the modeler shit from even 20 years ago, it was horrible. And you'd plug in and you'd be like, well, this would be okay if I'm sitting in my, you know, living room playing, but taking it on the stage is just, you hear that, it's like hearing a shitty MP3. with that stuff back in.
Yeah.
You hear like the digital like garbled.
Oh, absolutely.
You plug into a real amp, you're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like. But you got so many companies, so many, and Neural DSP is just like dropping hit after hit now. You got the Kempers that are still a mainstay, Axe, fucking Line 6 with the Helix shit. It's like you could get
the original ones, I think, right? Line 6. So
what was that?
I think Line 6 were the original ones, right? So
yeah, they've been doing the modeler shit heavy for years. But I mean that you play it. I mean, what was it like? The Line 6 amp you could get for in like the late 90s was with the insane distortion or something it was called. You're like, oh, all right, you could jam and figure out ideas. But you bring that thing on stage, you're like, whoa.
I want to give credit to Meshuggah too, right? They were the band that kind of like started that whole let's model the amp instead of using a real amp. You know what I mean? Because their songs, being that they used like 8-string guitars, 7-string guitars, their frequencies were the range was way different, right? So it made sense for them to use modelers. And I remember worked for them. They were the first band I saw using the Line 6 ones for their tone. Their main tone. I remember that was it. That was, they had 3 in a rack and that was their shit. And I remember being like, whoa, like, that's crazy. But again, it made sense, right? So
yeah, to keep it tight.
Warren, was Slayer a band that sort of changed with the times with their gear? Did they upgrade gear, or was Slayer sort of just, this is what works for us and this is what we're doing?
So what we did over the years was we basically upgraded the gear, but we kept it to its natural form. In other words, right? Like we still use heads, guitar heads that are going into pedals that are, giving out our tone, right? So maybe the only things we would add would be like we'd update our wireless units, our switching systems, you know what I mean? Right? But other than that, it's basically the same formula, right? Yeah. So we would upgrade in that sense, but we would keep it true to the original form.
Sure.
Sure. So instead of like, and again, I tried, I pushed for I say, dude, listen, it was one of those things where, do we want to at least give it a shot, right? Test it out, see if it works for us. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, And again, I was shot down, right? So which is fine to me because that was the answer I was looking for.
I could kind of see a Jeff Hanneman or Kerry King going, nah.
Oh yeah, that's the answer right away. Like, hey, do you want to even try it? Nope. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Well, I mean, so talking about like why we do this, right? The reason is music and musical expression, right? So the thing is like the technology goes forward, but if you don't feel inspired when you play, and you don't feel inspired when you pick up like a guitar or bass or whatever instrument, then it sort of kills the creativity part. So that's what some people can, get around that. I want like an expressive bass tone that when I play lightly, it's cleaner. When I dig in, it gets more grindy. I don't want anything that is sort of smoothing it out and swooshing it down and compressing it and making it sort of slower. And so I think that's really the most important thing, is like what inspires the art. And so
also,
a lot of people will debate a lot of this stuff, but it's like when you what makes your heart race.
Well, it's also, I like it's accessibility, right? Like when we were kids, in order to do that, you had to buy the amp, buy the pedal, try it out, whereas nowadays you can just go online and like put in the chain and plug your guitar in and be like, oh, I like this, this sounds great, right? So, you know what I mean? It's accessibility, right? You can do that at home now without even leaving your house, right? So,
hey, a question.
I was really skeptical when we kind of shifted. Craig went to the Fender Tone Master, right? And I was like, oh boy. And he dug in so deeply to figure out exactly what would pull the most he could out of it to make it what you were talking about, still have that inspirational vibe and feel. And, to be able to, we were pulling his whole, rack around, and it was like,
man, right?
It was like 375 a flight, right? And now, he's flying with a Pelican. His whole tone is a carry-on,
You know what I mean?
And,
so there you go.
I was really, I have to say though, I was really surprised when he started playing through it. I was like, this is vibe. It you know, like you said, it's come leaps and bounds from, 20 years ago, or maybe even 5,
But
10 years ago.
you also want to give him credit for putting the time into it, right? You know what I mean? For
Right. That's the thing.
You know, you have to.
That's the thing. He didn't just
duplicate your stuff, but you have to put the time in to dial it in, because that's what it's there for, right? You're able
he
to
really
get,
dug around.
You want, 8K out of your tone, you can get 8K out of your tone. You can, bring that down. You can bring the 800 up. You can do this, that, manually, right? And it's just I'm out to do it.
Hey, question for Danny Lilker from Scotland. Hey, Dan, loving the shirt. Go Down Fighting. Glasgow Hardcore. Great band. They're recording new music. Much love from Scotland.
Great band.
Yeah. I was just talking to those dudes earlier today, and they were sending me. Yeah, they send me whenever they do a mix or something. And go, hey, what do you think of that? And I go, hey, man, sounds good. I mean, it's like
driveway.
Just good old fucking powerful, strong-sounding hardcore. I mean, sounds like they've heard a few bands from New York back in the day. That's a good thing, though. And while I have the floor, with all those amp simulators real quick, you still got to push air with those speakers. It's good to be able to have something you can put in your pocket with your tone, but you still got to be pushing shit out with those speakers so people's hair is flying. Then you got the best of both worlds. But yes, out fighting.
Hey, this is a good question for Danny. Jeff Bronk asks, when Danny, when you played in different bands that you were in, did he try to go for different sound in each one, or did he just have his own style or adapt to each band?
Oh no, I just played what the fuck I played, and maybe sure. Brutal Truth was a little more chaotic, so you'd have to play a little faster or something. But no, I did not alter my approach or my tone or anything with any band I've played in. I just did what I did and played the shit I wrote, and that's how it came out. I don't overthink anything, put it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, wow, we just did almost 2 hours, and I haven't even taken a sponsor break or anything. Holy shit, I kind of got lost in it. Hey, let me take a sponsor break, and if anybody wants to come back, y'all, feel free to come back. If you got to go on your way, go on your way. But we'll do a bit more. If anybody wants to come back, just hang out. If you got to go, sign off. So let me do some sponsorship, announce some upcoming shows. Zum, I'll talk to you soon, right?
All right. Love seeing you guys.
Love you,
I gotta
man.
bounce. So
all right.
I got to bounce too. I got some people coming over. Thanks for having me, guys. Much love to all of you. Have a great
Chris.
rest of the year.
Here, Chris.
Love you, bro. Love you, Chris.
See it.
Well, I'm not going to go shovel, but I might go smoke some weed or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me do a couple minutes before you. If you guys want to go smoke, go do whatever. If I see you in the backstage, I'll pull you back on. All right.
Okay.
I got to go some snow, Drew. I'm going to bounce. Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay. Hey, Jeff, we got to get you on again. When the new record's coming out, and we'll go deep.
Sounds good to me. You
Thanks,
guys have
Jeff.
a good one.
All right. Joel, I'll see you in a bit. Lori, Warren, I'll see you. Danny Lilker, talk to you soon. Joel, and there you have it. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Let's do that was cool. Yeah. Let's do some sponsor stuff. We'll come back. We'll go for a while longer. It's the Snowstorm show. Pretty snowed in here in New York City. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody, let's do this, and we'll be back in a couple. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that. But the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their...
And we're back. It's the snowstorm. Hey, if you're wondering, let me show you what it looks like outside my window here. Give you a little tour. Let me see. There you go. Hold on. Keep in mind that it's usually really my street is just full of cars and full of stuff going on. So it's kind of crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of snow here. It hasn't snowed like this in New York City in a very long time. Very long time. Mr. Bungle 322 in the Generation Record spot. I saw an AF 500-piece jigsaw puzzle. Badass. Yeah, those were out a couple of years ago. I think I have one somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if those are around anymore. Anybody still yell to people in apartments to see if they're there? Not so much on my street. Like if somebody starts yelling, like I'll throw something at them. So, you know, my street is, you don't need, I mean, nobody's like yelling. It's not like, hey, you know, fucking Adrian. We, you know, with cell phones and stuff like that these days, it's not like it used to be. Want to mention, hey, everybody, thanks for supporting the show. There is the QR code there. That's how the show does what we do, because you support it. That said, I want to mention I mentioned a couple upcoming events. Actually, we are playing, speaking of cold, we are playing Albany. ID, we're doing a weekender. This Saturday, we are playing at Empire Underground in Albany. So shouting out all the Albany area people. Tree, Incendiary Device, Tied by Fate, Blast Craze, Mindscape Apocalypse, and Broken Demeanor. That's this Saturday at Empire Underground. So come through to that. Also, we talked about Sunday, the next day, we'll be in Kingston, New York, the jewel of upstate New York. That's happening. Stevens Band's playing February 7th. Yo, we're back at A7. Sunday, February 15th, a little bit of a slight change of the lineup. It's ID, Silence Equals Death, Sad Plant, Dying Breed, and God's Favorite now on the bill. And then this lineup has changed slightly as well. Sunday, March 15th at A7, non-residents, Why Die from Philly, old school Philly hardcore, The Long Wait featuring Jamie Sharappa from SSD, Direct Order 82 featuring Tim from Ensign, and Hudson Valley Zone RBNX. And then the third A7 shows Rebelmatic, Fulano, Tree, Catching Hell, and Oedipus Triple Rex. So lots and lots going on. Let's bring on our friends and sometimes co-hosts. That was a quick 2 hours, huh?
The dueling co-hosts.
My what?
Yeah, that was a quick 2 hours. That really flew by.
Time
I
flies.
just looked out my window too, and it's like a white out there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wind.
Yeah.
A lot of wind right now.
I haven't looked out my window since this show started. I don't even want to know at this point.
You haven't parted the red curtains there in the back there.
No,
it's really trippy where I live because I face 86th Street right here. 86th Street is kind of, a lot of cars come down the street. It ends right here at Riverside Drive. When it's like this, there's no cars and it's dead quiet, and it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's never like that around here. So it's pretty wild, and I think me and Michelle are going to go out for a walk after dinner tonight, just to bug out. Although it's really cold out.
It is. Bundle up.
Yeah.
Winter Wonderlands. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was cool. Everybody I think everybody kind of had their fill. That was good. I guess I ended it. I ended it at the right time. But that was awesome. It was great having everybody on at once.
It was. It was good.
And just a couple of upcoming shows. Wednesday, February 4th, which is our next show here. Howard Wolfing has a book, kind of a compilation of his old DC fanzines. This is going to be very cool. Of course, Joe, you have a relationship with DeWolf Publishing, right?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a book for DeWolf at the moment. I'm about, I'd say, a solid year away from delivering the manuscript, but I'm doing an oral history on 80s New Jersey punk and hardcore for DeWolf. Working on it very, very regularly since New Year's Day. It's going to be like the next year of my life, basically. But yeah, so doing it for DeWolf, and Howard I've known for decades because he's a publicist as well. And I dare say, the easiest publicist to deal with from my experience. And he does a great job for his clients. And I'm really excited to see him on the show. I think it's going to be a fantastic episode.
Yeah, he's landed a couple of his clients on the show, and that's part of the reason why things in a certain regard have got, for those wondering how it works, booking people for the show, it's gotten somewhat easier over the years because now there are PR people like Howard, record labels that reach out to me constantly about getting their artists and their clients on the show. Whereas in the beginning it was, hey, I'm doing this thing, and remember in the beginning, it was like a nightmare. It was like people were like, "What? Yeah, is it like a Zoom?" Like, having people on the show that have sold millions of records but don't know how to turn a computer on. That was a good one. Is Genocide going to be in it?
In my book?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Bobby Ebbs.
Yep. Yeah.
Definitely.
I saw Genocide back in the day.
Really?
I think at A7, or what did I see? Or someplace in Brooklyn, we played with them. Behind the Mighty played with Genocide. So Howard's on Wednesday, February 4th. Then after that, Sunday, February 8th, co-hosted by Lori Dawn, Pepper Keenan of Corrosion of Conformity and Down. Lori, we better do some homework for this one.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a cool one. Great score.
He does a lot of like videos on YouTube too with his guitar and guitar sounds and everything. Really interesting guy. I'm looking forward to talking to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wednesday, February 18th. And now for something completely different. Steve Berlin from Los Lobos. But there is a punk connection here because he was like an in-house producer for Slash Records. And he produced the first Faith No More record. and he was kind of around that whole scene, which is pretty interesting. Sunday, February 22nd, Chris Wren, our good friend, Bridge 9 Records, has a book out called Fenway Punk, how a Boston indie label scored big on baseball's greatest rivalry. I've read the book. It's a great book. Lots to talk about here. Very, very, very cool. Shouting out Larry Kelly and everybody up in Boston, Chris Wren, who's been an incredible supporter of not just this show, but me as an artist and so on and so forth. We love that guy. Sunday, March 8th, Steve Blush has a book out called When Rock Met Hip Hop. And I was interviewed for that. Just the stuff that I was involved in, the music videos that we did, the Biohazard Onyx, and just being in New York in that era. So that should be pretty cool. I'm excited about this one. Wednesday, March 11th, Frank Farrar just left Guns N' Roses after, I think, 17 years. He was the longest tenured drummer in Guns N' Roses. Before that, he was in the Psychedelic Furs and Love Spit Love. And even before that, in the Antidote Limelight Rock era, he was in The Beautiful. And my brother directed a video for The Beautiful in 1989 or 90. So my family goes back quite a bit with Frank Farrar. So looking forward to that. This is a banger. Bill Stevenson from Descendants, All Black Flag and Flag, Sunday, March 22nd. Guy's got quite a resume under his belt. And co-hosted by Lori Dawn. Here you go. Dee Dee Verney of Overkill. And you happen to be a big Overkill aficionado.
Yes, I happen to be. And I will be seeing them 2 days before at Worcester Palladium with Testament. So looking forward to it. He's again an incredible musician, and he's got a lot of interesting things going on there. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, he also has his other band that's like a swing band.
Yeah.
So lots to talk about with Dee Dee. Joey Shithead from DOA, musician, politician. They just did a documentary about him. Scott Crawford directed him. He did the DC doc. It's called Something Better Change. Paul Rackman was a producer on it. I have a long history with Paul. He's been a guest on the show. He directed American Hardcore. So that should be pretty cool. And then we just had to reschedule Wayne from Hatebreed. We had to push it back to August 19th, but Wayne eventually will make his way on the show. Laura, you have, what is this?
So we have another art show coming up at Bridge 9 Records in Beverly. It's going to be on Saturday, April 18th. We are not sure of the artist yet. That is to be announced, but it is going to be a fun day. Come on out if you're in the Beverly area, Boston, Salem, anywhere in there. We'll have a bunch of artists in there selling their wares for the spring. We're looking ahead to spring.
And Joel, tell us about the Vultures release.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that. Last December, my current project, Rise, Reign, Revolt, put out this EP called Vultures. And I've mentioned it in passing on previous episodes, but to dive in a little deeper, it's a 2-song, I guess they call it EP these days, but a 2-song single on Bandcamp. It's a benefit release for animal rescue organizations in Chicago and the UK. Rise, Reign, Revolt is an 11-person band I put together 8 years ago. And it took us 8 years to finish this recording for a number of reasons. Quite a few people are from Pigface, which is one of the bands I've played in over the years. It's 4 drummers, 2 bass players, 2 singers. It goes on and on. Ted Parsons from Prong and Swans is on the recording. He's one of the 4 drummers. We have a remix from Troy Gregory from Prong. Both of those guys have been on the show. On bass is Greta Brinkman, who followed Jennifer Finch in L7.
Oh wow.
She was also Moby's bass player for many, many years. She's on the track. Great cause, great recording, great fun. So that's on Bandcamp, and it's just riserainrevolt.bandcamp.com. It's a $3 download. And
Cool.
What's important too, just to mention quickly, we're looking at the snow right now, and winter's tough on animals. Winter's tough on pet owners, particularly in this economy right now. We just got through Christmas. Well, a lot of people surrendered their animals, or their pets are not getting the proper food right now because of the economy. So this is just a small way to help that. So again, it's a $3 download. Hopefully everybody watching this will support the cause, because every penny we raise is going to be split between these two organizations. And, 10 downloads, that's a considerable amount of food for some animals who don't have it right now. So thank you, Drew, for letting me do that plug on your show.
Of course, man.
Thanks for thanks to anyone who supports it. It's really important. And if I dare say, it's a really killer piece of music as well. It's my 50th release as a drummer. So
Nice.
Count says, I saw Pigface at the Limelight. Didn't you play that show, Joel?
I did. Yep. Absolutely. That was a crazy night.
Was that this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see some of the people in that lineup. That's Chris from the Rollins band in the front holding the guitar. Chris Connolly in the back from Ministry, and Revolting Cox. All kinds of interesting people. Now, the two ladies in the front there, they tied each other up by their ankles, and the one lady had a blaster or a sander, and the other one had like a pair of metal panties on. And they were shooting sparks out from the one girl's crotch right above my head as I was playing drums. So It was a very Limelight moment for people who remember the Limelight. I mean, that place was one of a kind. So, yeah,
I sort of remember the Limelight. I saw a lot of crazy stuff. I made this post the other day. When I was in Antidote during the rock years, we played the Limelight like a dozen times. We literally played the Limelight like every third month. Every third month for like 3 years, we played the Limelight, and that was our home. And I was there every Sunday for years and years. It was have a lot of great memories.
It represents a club and a city that we don't have anymore. It was definitely of its time. That's for sure.
And I posted these the other day. Let me see. Let me. Here's one. Here's one good one. Hold on. All right. I posted this the other day, and I kind of posted something this before. This is me singing with Antidote at the Limelight, probably 90 or 91.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go.
When I met you, Drew, you had hair like that.
Yeah.
Fringe jacket.
Yo, that fringe jacket. I had a leather jacket with those fringes.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was a stage manager at a film stage, and I was behind a desk a lot of the time, and I cut all the fringes off the leather jacket and hand sewed those leather fringes onto the denim jacket.
Wow.
I thought that would be cool and unique.
Yeah, look at that.
I wish God, what happened to that jacket? Yeah, Ian Asbury wants his jacket back. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good memories. And then
question about snacks. What snacks you guys got?
What snacks? Okay.
What did you load up on for
those that are in the snowstorm? What snacks do you have?
I got this.
Ugh.
They're horrible. You know what this is? This is like packing material with just like
God. Yeah.
orange colored salt on it.
On styrofoam. On styrofoam
On
balls.
yeah, I could pack my ceramics in this.
Yeah. 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 RS heard the alignment location's up for sale. Anyone buy it yet? I don't think anyone bought it yet. I heard it is up for sale. Honestly, I think it's time to tear it down. It's just and just move on. It's been nothing for years. It's going to be nothing. It's in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. It's all partitioned off. Just get rid of it.
Well, what we have to do is we have to play Powerball, win the Powerball, and
Powerball.
and then redevelop it.
You know what? If I win Powerball, it's about the last thing I'm doing.
You know, too, I mean, even if somehow it became like they rechristened it, the official Limelight, we're having shows again, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be the same.
No.
I hate to be the old man yelling at a cloud, but it was of its time. The Limelight in 2026 would have nothing to do with anything that was back then.
Yeah.
It was a magical moment. I'd rather see people start brand new things.
Yeah.
You know, let the past be the past, celebrate it, honor it, but move forward a little bit, you know? So I kind of hope it doesn't come back.
You know, Laurie, so, you know, knock it off. Stop holding on to the past.
Well,
Laurie.
yeah, it's all your fault.
You know? Here's a cool one. Get a load of this. Here's a Limelight show. Warzone and Antidote.
Wow.
And this is when Warzone was doing, what was that one record they put out that they kind of disowned and everybody, it's like the self-titled. I like it.
I love that record.
I do too. This is that. We were doing the rock thing. They were doing that thing. We played the Limelight together.
Right.
Yeah. For all you like, you know.
I got into Warzone because of that record.
I like that record.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
like that record. Yeah.
I mean, the production's a little dated of its time, you know. It's very 1989 production with the drums and stuff, but it's
self-titled third album. Yep, that's what it was.
I got a T-shirt of that album somewhere here too, from that time period.
What else do I got? Now we're kind of tripping on the Limelight. We played a lot of shows at the Limelight. Oh, this is a cool one. You'll like this one. You'll like this one. Get a load of this one.
Yeah, somebody's saying it might be a historical landmark.
Yeah. You know, they're trying to sell a church in my neighborhood.
Yeah, with all the churches. Yeah, I don't know.
Get a load of this one. Blitzspear and Antidote at the Limelight.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
Nice. I loved the Blitzspear.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Blitzspear and Antidote. So
good old Phil Cavano.
We love that guy.
Yeah.
I sent that to him actually the other day.
Cool.
I sent that to him and yeah. How about here's one that we could all where's that one? Here you go. This is an interesting one. Look at this. Aaron Collins from Butterbrain. Of course, he was in a band called White Trash.
Right.
White Trash and Antidote, 1989 at the Limelight.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, my brother directed their video, the apple pie video that won the MTV Buzzbin. My brother directed that.
That's cool. I remember them when they were out in real time. I remember watching that video back then.
Yeah. They listen. It's one of those sort of cautionary tales. You know, and Aaron will tell you this. They were young. They got signed to a major label. They got signed for a publishing deal, and then they just started fighting amongst each other. They had even he'll tell you, when you're young, you think there's another publishing deal right around the corner, and they just imploded.
Right.
They just imploded.
That whole era was fantastic, though. It was Antidote, Warrior Soul. We got to mention Warrior Soul, Circus of Power, Blitzspear. It was Lunatics. It was such a cool time to discover bands. White Zombie before the major label deal. They were around at the time.
Yep.
You know, late 80s was a fun time. That's when I discovered all this stuff. It was such a cool period for bands. Prong came out of that scene as well.
Here's one for you, Joel. Warrior Soul and Antidote at the Limelight.
There you go.
There you go. Warrior Soul and Antidote at the Limelight.
Join them in filming their new video. That must have been for the Wasteland video.
Maybe.
So I think that's a live footage video. People like going crazy. So
Is
it's
that
gotta
place
be that one?
Is that place still in Brattleboro? The Stone Church? It's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Gorilla Biscuits there a few years
Right.
back. Maybe last year, year before.
It's
Yeah.
a cool venue. I saw AF there. Yeah.
It is really cool. I feel like that's like the life cycle of a church, you know? It's like you become a venue, you're a church, a place of worship, then you're a music venue, and then you're abandoned.
Right.
Or you become condos.
This is interesting. That Warrior Soul Antidote show at the Limelight. Master of Ceremonies Jesse Mallon, DJs Howie Pyro.
Wow.
It's wild, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a time.
Yeah. Can you give a little history? Discuss Crucial Truth. Crucial Truth was Alex Mitchell, who later went on to sing for Circus of Power. That was his hardcore band. They were a real New York hardcore band.
Now, didn't Sheer Terror do a tribute record to Crucial Truth?
I don't know.
I think I could be wrong about this. I could be imagining this somehow, but I think Sheer Terror actually re-recorded the Crucial Truth 7-inch and did their own version of it. If I'm not mistaken.
This? Hold on. They did this?
Yeah, somebody in the chat, help me out. I think I'm right about that.
This? They redid this? Darkened Days?
I'm pretty damn sure they did. It was either Sheer Terror or whatever Paul Bearer has on the side, Joe Coffey or whatever.
Right.
But I think it was Sheer Terror did a whole like rendition of that EP.
I can see that. Alex, yeah. Drew, when is the next time you're making it out to the West Coast? Any plans this year? Well, we're trying to get the record. We're not trying. Records, all this stuff's supposed to be announced. It's dragging out, but our record's coming out May 1st, and then we're going to be playing shows. So we'll probably do a couple shows out west once the record's out in June, July, or August or something like that. Once we get this shit is just dragging. As like I said earlier in the show, it just you hand the record into a label, and then you fucking sit on your ass for 6 months waiting for them to put it out. And then you forget about the record. You lose enthusiasm for the record. You don't give a shit about the record. You develop animosity to the record label. You hate the guys in your band, and you just want to throw yourself off the bridge.
You write the best song ever that you ever wrote.
Josh is going crazy in the comments talking about the Sheer Terror thing I mentioned. I guess it was just the flexi disc, one song.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Right.
Josh.
Sure. Okay. Sheer Terror did just the Darkened Days song on a flexi. Okay. New stuff sounds great. Are you referring to the new stuff we've been playing live? Because we're starting to play a lot of the new stuff, our new stuff, and it's great. It's good stuff. It's actually really good. But everybody's our new stuff's great. Like, have you ever heard a band go, "Hey, we just did this new record, and you know what? It's not that good. It kind of sucks. Our old stuff's a lot better."
No, they package it as we went in a different direction.
Right. Or you know what?
We wanted to expand
this new stuff we did. I'm not just saying this. It's really the best stuff we've ever done. Fuck out of here.
And then you listen to it.
Yeah. Listen, our new shit sucks. All right? Don't listen to it. It sucks.
I agree.
Yes. Thank you, Vince. Were you at the show last night? We played some stuff last night. We have the new video done. I should play the new video right now and get us thrown off the record label. They'd flip out. What the fuck? I don't know. Hey, let's do the premiere of the new incendiary device, New York City. They'd flip out. Yeah. Yeah.
So
we just went in a different direction. Like, AKA our shit sucks.
The new direction is the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just went in a different direction, aka listen, we didn't come up with any good stuff. We were really high on drugs. We just kind of did odds and ends, and we suffered through this record.
we took all the songs that didn't make it to
Right.
previous records, and we just lumped it on this one.
Right.
The rejects.
Did you listen to Megadeth doing Ride the Lightning? I did
Yep.
not. Did you,
Yep.
Joe?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why would Megadeth be doing Ride the Lightning?
Well, Megadeth has supposedly put out their final album. In
Right.
my opinion, it's fantastic. I love that record.
Nice.
To me, it sounds like they did like an old school new wave of British heavy metal throwback record. Like,
Wow.
you know, Dave is paying tribute to his roots on this record. It sounds like something Raven and Diamond Head may have done back in the day. It's a great record.
Right.
Very simple, like, you know, straight to the point punk. There's no like 50 different time changes or anything like that. But to do a full circle moment, at least that's how Dave has been discussing it, they closed the record with Ride the Lightning, his rendition of Ride the Lightning. So,
but what's his involvement with that song?
well, he co-wrote it for one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Does he have credit on the Metallica record? For
I believe he does, or there's been some
Right.
like, you know, some schism over that. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure of that, but from what Dave has said, he says it was a management suggestion. Like, why don't you do a Metallica song? He's like, well, I want to do it my way if we do one, and then that became Ride the Lightning. But it's good. I think the record could have stood very strongly on its own without that little extra like media thing, like, oh yeah, we're covering Metallica. But even their version's fine. I mean, Dave rips on guitar, and he clearly gave Metallica a lot of their earlier sound. I mean, I don't think that's even disputed at this point.
Interesting.
You know, I think that new Metallica rips. It's I've listened to it, I think 5 times this weekend. That's why I started listening to old Anthrax, because the new Megadeth reminded me so much of like the old school. I put on Kill 'Em All, and then I put on Fistful of Metal with Anthrax, and lo and behold, Danny's on the show. So, you know, it's very cool. Been a very metal weekend for me, but
Yeah, you just go down the rabbit hole. Well,
yeah,
the
exactly.
Bad Company was brought up. I think Zum had brought them up, and I was like, oh, I was just on a Bad Company trip this weekend. You know, this kind of popped up, and I was like, oh yeah.
Do you like the Brian Howe version of Bad Company? Like when they came
I'm not
back?
I'm not that familiar with it.
Because they, you know, they had their 70s run and then they split
That's
for a
what I
bunch of
was
years.
So that's
Yeah.
that to me is what the songs that I know. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm an 80s Bad Company guy. I saw them like in 91, and they had a guy named Brian Howe singing.
Yeah, right.
I thought they were great.
Is he still around?
No, he passed away a few years
Right, he
back.
passed. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was my era of Bad Company, because I hit the ground running late 80s with so much of this stuff. And that
So
was
mine would have been like from my parents, you know. So it was like the stuff that I grew up with. So it would have been the earlier, like early 70s stuff. Yeah.
right. Yeah, there were almost like 2 different bands there for a while, because it was like the 70s, and then they went like total commercial with the later stuff. But I like that. I mean, I'm a sucker for all the hair stuff. I still am to this day. I still love all of it.
So, yeah.
All right.
It's cool.
What else? I'm just going through. I was actually looking for the cover of our album. I was going to post it, but I can't seem to find it. So, whatever. We'll see it. We'll be sick of it soon enough. Yeah. Enough with the Dave Mustaine and Metallica drama.
Yeah,
it's only
been going on 40 years. You know.
Yeah.
Drew, you would like the movie they put out. Which movie are we talking about?
Megadeth, I believe, put out a documentary.
Really?
I think I haven't seen it, but
hey, Chris Kontos, of course, man. We love you, bro. You at this point, you like know how to step right in. You know, this show's like a moving freight train. You got to kind of run alongside it and then jump on. And Kontos, you gotten real good at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's nice having him on.
Yeah, he's great. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Cool.
Well,
this was a nice way to spend the day if we couldn't spend it together at the Bowery.
That was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I love when there's a lot of people on and I could just put pictures up and it's not like crushing my skull to like, like hey Joe, I don't think you got to figure out, Joel, because you're not co-hosting any of these things.
No. But I may. We can't say anything yet, but I may come back towards the summer for a very special guest. We'll see.
Okay.
This just in from my good friend who plays guitar in Exploited, who is a filmmaker. He did the Dick Dynamite and all that. He just sent me this message. Finally, Waddy said he'll do your podcast.
Nice.
Stop it. You know what?
Very cool.
Could you imagine like dealing with Waddy on this show? Like,
this is not derogatory in nature, I assure you. But are you going to have captions for when he talks?
No, I'm going to bring. No. This is the idea. I'm going to bring Waddy. Will be the guest, and we'll bring on Danny Diablo, Dave from MDC, and Hilly Crystal's son. Oh, and Dave Tree really stoned. Dave Tree, like, which is like pretty much all day long. We'll bring them all on at once, and
it'll be an 18-hour episode.
It'll just be chaos. I'll just sit there like, yeah.
Somebody was like, "Get subtitles." Yeah.
I mean, I kind of got to have Waddy on if he's willing to do it, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you talk about the radio shows from back in the day playing hardcore metal, etc.? Crucial Chaos, Hellhole, WFMU.
Oh yeah, I can talk about that. You have to get my book.
Yeah.
And I'm done with it.
Yeah. Well, I remember Noise the Show. I mean, I'm in 80 and 81. Noise the Show was how you tape it on cassette, and I think listen, a lot of those Noise. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, but recently I kind of heard some of those old Noise the Shows that had like Misfit stuff that I've never heard since, like weird mixes and stuff that like I never heard some of that stuff since. But maybe it's all been out one way or the other.
I know in the case of FMU, one thing that would happen is bands would come in and if they weren't playing on, say, Pat Duncan's show. Yeah. They'd come on for an interview and like, here's a rough mix of our next thing. And it would be a completely different version from what would end up released, So that happened quite a bit back then. I think there's some Misfit stuff I'm aware of. Like the mix is totally different.
Yeah, right. I guess that's what I'm referring to is stuff that, Yep.
Yeah, like works in progress, sort of being shared. Yeah.
Those new Misfits that came out are great.
Oh, I Jim tapes. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right, let's see what he shows up with. You better watch what you show on the air. Glenn Danzig will call in a napalm strike on your house.
You?
Hey, you better watch it. Glenn Danzig will call in a napalm strike on your house. Hold it up again.
Oh, as you warned me, did he say hold it up again?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is that the rehearsal or is that the live show?
This is the rehearsal from 77. It fell off a truck right outside my apartment. I have no idea how that happened.
It's crazy when that happens.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
But this was never shown on the show, in case anybody asked.
Yeah. I heard that the rehearsal, I think the rehearsal tape is better than the live tape.
Oh, the rehearsal is fantastic considering how old it is and how
Glenn sounds great on it.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Have you ever seen Danzig's movies? No comment.
Yes, They're cool for what I hope he was going for, which is, hey, check out this ridiculously cheesy movie. We can laugh at it.
Yeah.
Because we all grew up watching like Captain USA and USA Up All Night and all those terrible movies. So if he was going for that, hey man, you did great. You did a great job producing a bad movie we can have fun with.
No, but I don't think that's the case.
Okay, well in that case, oh dear. But
oh dear. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Joel, thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for putting on a great show today. It was a lot of fun.
Think about who we can pull on the show that you can co-host.
Yeah. I'm working some things, as you know, and we'll see what happens with that.
Or I'll bring someone on and I'll just ask you to co-host.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Lori, always a pleasure.
Yeah, you too.
Talk to you soon, Joel. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
All right, time flies when there's a snowstorm.
Yes, exactly.
What's the next? You're not coming down here anytime soon, right? No.
Not the way this winter is going. You know, I got a punk show next week on the Cape. So.
Who's playing?
You know, I'm not sure. For Impulse Control, probably.
Just some punk shit.
Some punk stuff. I should have brought I'll bring the flyer on Wednesday.
Wait, there's no show Wednesday.
Is there no show on Wednesday?
This next show is a week from Wednesday.
Oh man, I blew it.
I need a break. This is crazy. I've done this show. I haven't. It's been like Sunday. It's been Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. It's been a lot.
It's been a long run. Yeah. So we need a break.
All right, let's go eat some dinner and let's go play in the snow.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Well, that's what's up. I hope brought some entertainment into your life. It kept me entertained for the most part. So yeah, good stuff. Hey, this was the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by the Texas Silver Rush DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Woman of the Pit, She Devil's Coven, and Minty Fresh Presents. That said, thanks a lot, everybody. It was a great show. Keep doing what you're doing. Do good things, and good things will come to you.